played about 80 minutes of really poor footy, which we don't want to do in any game, and we didn't give ourselves an opportunity to be in the game at all, and ultimately that's why the result was how it was.
From a work rate point of view, we didn't work hard enough. We didn't. They outnumbered us at every contest. So that to me is a player issue we've got to work harder.
Yes, Damien Hardwick knows that there's a lot on this game. It's last week's performance. They want to erase that, but they also want to erase what happened here last year. He was down on the ground, turned his back when Carmichael Hunt kicked that goal. So not just the 4 points, not just their 10th win of the season, but a couple of things they want to put behind them for this game this afternoon. The Gold Coast Suns have won the toss, and Lee Colbert at ground level. Interesting, they're going to kick with a breeze. You'd expect that. But Colby, Richmond kicked with a breeze the last 2 times we're here.
Yes, Matty, it's we know it's interesting times here in Cairns. Looking forward to this one, as we always are. But Alex Rance, I want to watch him closely today. He's a strong breeze right to left. He's been outstanding this year, reading the play. He cuts the ball off, interceptions. He's right up there in the league. All Australian for mine, and I'm really interested to see how many marks he can take, Alex Rance.
Thanks, Lee. Set to go in this very important clash here at Cazaly Stadium in Cairns. Sellout crowd. Big build-up to this game around the local area. A lot of people really keen to see Richmond back in town looking for 4 points. We're underway, and Nichols is trying to get to it first, but he misses it, but it's pinched by Hardbrow. Ablett, first shot at goal for the game, inside 50. The perfect start, hits the post. Maybe it's the Tigers' day after all. I know it's early.
Great start there for Gold Coast. As you said, 15 seconds on the clock, and Harbrow and Gary Ablett. Great start from those two boys.
Just the handball from Ellis, just finding the opposition's number 5, and the short pass coming in.
Thanks, Gary.
Just to Martin. And kicking into the breeze, as we'll see them just try and slow the tempo down a bit and play towards the boundary line. Arnott going back, he's worked off at Hall. O'Meara swamped by a couple of Tigers, Martin and Ellis.
Yep. Thank you. Yep. Right here, lads.
Marriage, but stolen by O'Meara to the top of the square. No one really there for the Suns, but it might fall for Brown. Good tackle. Not rewarded from Pettit, but Chaplin there to help out and clean up for Richmond.
That was incorrect disposal, surely. It was a great tackle.
You would have thought so. Off the ground, gets 35 metres with a drop punt into the breeze. And got it to spin perfectly.
Looking forward to this duel here, Dermot. Rory Thompson and Jack Rewalt.
It should be a cracker.
It could well be the duel that decides the match.
Well, he's a much improved player, isn't he, Rory Thompson? Started as a forward and a couple of games, and they slipped him down back at the start of this year and hasn't looked back. Great leg speed, good closing speed.
Yeah, he's a young Dustin Fletcher, isn't he?
Dare I say it, but he's got that last 2 steps closing like the Steve Silvani long lever spoil.
White breaks away from the contest, kicks it long, but off to the left-hand side. So first score for Richmond are behind.
Not only, Colby, you and I were out there before the game. Not only is it difficult, it'll sail a bit shorter or keep a bit shorter into the wind at that end of the ground. It's a very difficult kick to actually find the goal face.
Ablett the target on the way out. Has to wait for it to settle. Over the top came Morris.
Well, it looks like Delidio is starting on the champ Gary Ablett, which is interesting.
And Ablett wins the free kick. Surely they'll just rotate, Danny.
Yeah, you would have, but very ordinary play from Steve Morris there.
Not Ablett's best kick, but O'Meara has a little bit of time to settle, and likewise a poor kick from him and Pettit in the way for Richmond.
They took a long time to settle down last year as well, the Gold Coast Suns. They turned the ball over by foot. In fact, the last 4 weeks or so, they haven't been great with their retention of the footy, the Suns.
Ablett reads it best. The spoil came from Day. Big leap and a strong leap, and there he is, the man that only plays in Cairns. Hall off to Brown. Bennell, clever, too good.
We talk about Josh Hall pre-game, and he's just one of those players. Yeah. He's a good height. He's 197 centimetres. We know they've got a lot of players out with injury in Dixon and Smith, but what a great start from the youngster.
Aaron Edwards is on him at the moment. Before the game, Aaron Edwards was at the goal face, lining up set shots, as you would expect, which should suggest he's playing forward, but lining up on Hall in the back line.
Harley Bennell knows that you just have to hit it a little bit left to right, and the breeze will do the rest, and the opening goal goes to the Suns.
Well, terrific start from Gold Coast. The contested ball ain't been going early, 6-3. Oh, look at this here. Tommy moved outnumbered. Gary Ablett's already had the 3 disposals.
Look at the ups here.
Well, what a great vertical leap, but the thing I liked about it, instant handball, and as all good forwards, you'll find a good position, but the kick was absolutely perfectly well weighted with that breeze there, and of course the finish. There's a lot better finish there, so the 3 inside 50s already for Gold Coast, 1 goal, 1. Good start.
Runner-up best and fairest last year. And averages over a goal a game, as you can see there, approaching his 50th. 50 games today for Trent McKenzie. 100 games for the skipper of the Tigers. Congratulations to Trent Cotchin. And of course, this is where his run towards the charge towards the Brownlow medal started last year with 38 disposals and 3 votes. Kick out wide here for the Suns. It's Bennell again, who fancy himself to get rid of Conker, but he wins a free kick.
Yeah, good play. Damien Hardwick's with the wind has played an extra Dermot, but Guy McKenna said enough of that. We'll just have 7 forwards.
Yeah.
Not a good kick again, so some turnovers coming from the Suns.
It's good sized ground too. There'll be space even with the extra back there and the extra forward. 14 players down there. You'll still find a little bit of space if it comes in quick enough.
And Day wanted to get that over the line and is successful.
Yeah, pretty good discipline there from Tom Nichols as well. Big job with a big Ivan Marriage back into the fold for the Tigers. As we know, he was a late withdrawal this particular game last year, and they missed him last week against North Melbourne.
Yeah, he's an important player, but Nichols really battled hard against Leuenberger last week. It was a fascinating duel. His work rate is exceptional. Ablett, speaking of work rate, now King might want a free kick there, and he does.
Yeah, well, Ablett Deledio, it's an interesting matchup, Dermot, already. You can see Deledio, that's where he needs to hurt Gary on the outside.
And he kicks it low, trying to find his man in revolt, but numbers should suit the Gold Coast. Day goes back, takes a little bit wide for Murphy, but he comes back on the left, and he wants Nichols and finds him.
That's good with this kid, Nichols. I mean, they would have thought, where do we turn to now when they lost their ruckman, or both of them, during the year? And
well, Dixon went down, then Smith went down.
Yeah, and this kid has, for a bloke third cab off the rank, I can't think of any third cab off the rank ruckman who's done as well.
Look at the attack from May there. He crashes into Ricky Pettit, but he's up and a clearing kick. O'Meara facing the wrong way. Spoil was a good one.
Well, that was a really good contest there from Stephen May. If you're going to play back there as the extra and you can get away with not giving a free kick away, that was a great attack. There's Pettit, he's up, but feeling a little bit sore after that contest.
Yep.
They've worked it now, so it is Troy Chaplin, the loose man in defence.
Another great matchup, Trent Cotchin and Jager O'Meara, which is going to be a terrific duel.
Well, Stone's kick inside the forward 50. Here comes Vickery. Day's there as well. It falls now for Tate back in the team. Nichols on hands and knees over to Brennan. Touch ball. Numbers will suit the Tigers. Boston heard the call and gave it off quickly to Edwards.
It's a good kid, isn't he, Boston?
Yep.
I mean, he never thought, as I say that, he coughs it up.
Yeah.
And that's come off the boot, has it? No, they haven't picked it. Yeah, never going to do anything but go at the footy.
Regardless of the call.
Yeah, first-year player who will take a bit of punishment in the name of the team.
Marriage made good position from the boundary throw-in, trying to get it down in front. It heads towards the boundary once again.
As we said, we're going to have some magnificent duels. Trent Cotchin and young Jager. That's going to be mouth-watering.
Prototypes almost, aren't they? Here's Ablett getting it from Shaw, away from the clearance. Inside 50 though, 2-on-1, and the one is only Harbrow, so he wants it on the deck. It's not there just yet. Good Shepherd. Chaplin's handball is short.
Good pressure.
Rance under pressure. In comes Aaron Hall, wanted a free kick. Probably played for it too well. Tries to get up and barrel through Rance. Has lost the footy. Will have a ball up 30 metres out.
Well, the last 2 entries going in, Gold Coast started 1-on-1, but their half forwards are coming up the ground to allow Richmond that extra down back now.
Cleared away towards the boundary.
It looks like Chaplin's the free player, so
Yep.
that'll really suit the Tigers. If Gold Coast just need to be aware that Chaplin's playing as a loose man, so if they kick a Hail Mary or a long bomb, that'll play into Richmond's hands.
That's a bit stiff. I'm looking at Ivan Marich's possessions. He's had 2 kicks already, and that one didn't count as an effective one. I thought that was very effective.
Tackle from Broughton was solid.
Clearing kick, found the boundary, no free kick to the opposition, but you've already seen Marich's intensity is of a benefit to the Tigers.
Shaw, it was a nice little give from Broughton. He just slipped it to him on the move. May had to go hard and he had to beat Rance.
Well, there's Chaplin, the extra.
Little fumble from Morris, picked up by Brennan. Fumble, can he give it over? He still wants to kick it himself. Martin bashes it through for a rush behind. Opportunity missed for Brennan.
Only Jared Brennan could pick it up as fluently as that, and only Jared Brennan could lose it then.
Yep.
Well, that is well explained. That's Jared Brennan in a nutshell, because he was terrific last week. But I don't mind it, Dermot, because at least he's getting near the ball. Sometimes you can go for a quarter and a half and he's unsighted, so at least he's getting hands on it.
Big Rory Thompson made front position and then just punched it towards the line so the Suns can set up from this throw-in.
Well, he's predictable, isn't he, Rory Thompson? It was only going to be one thing then. It was going to be just a big spoil, and why not when you're playing on the dual Coleman medalist in Jack Rewell.
Marriage. Double-fisted. And again, the busiest man at the moment is the boundary umpire, but Prestia kept it in. Swallow having trouble getting free. Taken by Mackenzie. Prestia, they share it to Broughton. Touched off the boot. Again, numbers suiting Richmond. Again, it's Floston who had to stand and take it as he does. It ends up with May, squeezes the kick to the line. And in the last line of defence, as we so often see, Troy Chapman.
We've also got Matthew Arnott as a defensive forward. He's put a tag on Mackenzie of the Suns, so he's following him everywhere he goes, which means that the Tigers, not only if they run one of their forward line players up to be a seventh backman, Arnott's a tagger, so that then takes them down to 4 viable forwards, which you can still win a game with that. It's just,
at the moment they've got 0.
Yeah, but when the ball gets in there,
all players in one half of the ground.
Jack made sure the umpire saw that. And you know what? Very light. I don't know if it's the best thing if Jack gets a free kick early like that. That he might think I can just keep exploiting this.
Well, there's no need for Rory to put a hand on him because it was a big pack there.
That ball's held up.
Yeah, with the breeze, and Daniel Jackson has it, but he hasn't got much room to move. He pops it out in front of Arnott. Mackenzie goes with him. And Bennell just said, you guys forgot to go for the ball. Here it is.
It's a bit more carry going that way.
Yeah, May. Floston did well. Recovers his own spoil. Tried to find a target, but he does eventually. Ellis's handball over the top. Chance for Arnott now on the left against the run of play for the Tigers. They get there first. And they're pretty pleased about that.
Mackenzie went to take Arnott out in the, well, take him out fairly, as in a bump in the pocket. Arnott recovered quicker, came back into the centre of the ground, and Mackenzie couldn't get back to him. You have a look here, there's Mackenzie there, and gets lost there, gets around him. He goes down again. Arnott, who he left behind, keeps his feet, stays upright, gets a goal. Nice hit.
So Arnott, that's Brandon Ellis, but Arnott's first goal in AFL football.
Well done, it was a good finish.
There he is.
Really under pressure.
There's a bit of him, he's only
solid boy, solid.
Just 19. The Tigers get it back to a 1-point game. They'll be happy to get on the scoreboard there, and Prestia wins the clearance for the Suns.
That was interesting, the Hall jump at the middle. He jumped high and put the knee into him, but forgot to put his hands up.
Chance here, Hall again. Russell has a runner. Swallow, are they using it too much? I think they are.
Yeah.
Hall and coming in and killing it, Morris.
Yeah,
too many gives, we knew it was going to happen.
No, it was well called, Matty. 2 handballs too many, especially that breeze.
Swallow should have kicked.
Yeah, there's no doubting that. Interesting, Harbrow's playing as a half forward.
What we've seen him in this year mainly is sort of midfield, sort of pushing forward, but not starting deep, Danny.
Yep.
And he's been sort of coming up from the wing or in the half-back line.
Well, he's averaging a career high 24 disposals this year. He's ranked 1 for the Suns for effective kicks, and I suppose if you're playing up the ground more, it means the really good ball users like Harbrow are delivering the ball inside the forward 50.
He's much more dangerous, exactly, as Ellis clears it. Eyeball up. Great courage from Jake King. Would expect nothing less. Shaw. Stolen by Martin.
Well, went past the ball there, the Gold Coast.
Yeah. Now Martin gets it back and then ricochets it off to Lidio, but he wins another disposal. Now he took him on and he wins the free kick.
Yeah, the intent was there, just not the execution. Went far too high off the hands there. We know Dustin Martin's very hard to tackle, but you need to go low with your arms.
Yeah, you've got to get down low, but the kick is not a good one. Straight onto the chest to Sam Day.
Started well, Martin. 7 disposals already for Dustin Martin.
4 inside 50s for the Tigers so far for their scores, but it just looks like, when watching the bench, that they're happy to concede this quarter almost and just have a 0-0 draw and play with the win.
Yeah, spot on, Colby.
Yeah, Troy Chaplin's the one too, Colby. He's playing a similar role that you played, many games with North Melbourne. Just that guy that really does frustrate the opposition, especially in these conditions.
Tom Murphy sneaked on.
Yeah, from the interchange, but
Hasn't seen him.
no.
Now he
does.
Now, if Day goes past, he can give it to him.
And he sort of wandered through Day. Now he has it. And he hits a target, though, and Shaw, who plays on, gets to 50, needs it to come back. Oh, that's a good hit. There's a good finish in that Shaw, and the Gold Coast get their second.
It is, but what it does say is it spells danger. He took that ball 55 metres from goal, and really the kick he put on it was a gentle dab.
Oh, yeah, it was a half hit.
So you've got to make more of this wind that says Richmond. I mean, Jack Revolt will look at that, lick his lips and say, you know what, I get the ball inside 70. I'm a chance every time in the second quarter.
Well, he's put the 2 inside 50s with his 2 kicks, 1 goal and 1 hitting the target.
Team meeting, we had the camera watching Bluey McKenna before the game. And it's been a long time covering off tactics or covering off what was to happen today. Sure, he'd be happy with that finish by Shaw.
And there's probably 2 sets of instructions too if you win or lose the toss. It's as simple as that, because it's a different
Two different
style
games.
of play.
They got 8 down in the defensive side of the ground now, the Tigers.
Yeah, well, they're trying to really man up Chaplin, which is smart.
Russell.
Well, the Suns have
Brown.
called a halt to it. They've got 7 forwards, and the Tigers have gone with 8 backmen. So it's all about trying to have a maintainable, I suppose, what would you call them, quarry at quarter time that you can hunt down by foot, going to that left-hand end of the ground.
Ablett swings around and lets the breeze bring it back towards the square. Gee, it carried. That's a good mark by Edwards. We know he's a strong aerialist.
And that's what they need to do, the Gold Coast Suns. They need to really spread and isolate. I know the kick was under pressure, but you've really got to isolate. Even though there's 8 forwards down there, you've really got to communicate Dermot doubly hard as a forward when there's not much room.
This kick, as a half forward, you come up, and the best thing you can hope for is, I'll cop a knee in the back. I hope it doesn't hurt too much, but it's going to be a 0-0 draw and punched over the boundary.
And 2, Spud, probably with Aaron Edwards, make him the one out in the goal square. I think Aaron hasn't played full back since under 12s when they rotated from forward to backs, but he's certainly he'd be perfect to isolate.
Jackson off the outside of the boot. Spoil came across. Now it falls for Harbrow. Again, the ball carries over the leading man. And it's a throw-in, what we now call the Carmichael Hunt pocket.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where all the play is.
Well, there's Chaplin there. Gold Coast have been in 11 times for 2 goals too, so the extra numbers is and Damien Hardwick, it's for pretty good coaching.
9 minutes to go. He's happy, isn't he?
Yep.
What can happen in 9 minutes?
A lot can happen in a minute and a half up here in Cairns.
Kick 3.
Yeah.
On that pace, they could kick 27 before the end of the quarter.
And there's a free kick against Revolt this time for holding.
That's what I worry about.
Nichols, the next target. Can they get it to the fat side?
So it was great positioning from Rory Thompson, though, knowing that everyone's up the ground. He was goal side of Revolt.
Ablett was the target, and it was a good spoil from Jackson.
Just watch the ball.
Yep.
Swallow just on the ground here for Gold Coast.
And spoils it to Nichols. Hard for the big man to take it, but he went back for a second effort. Murphy has Swallow running. Swallow hits it low. It's a really tough one to take. Brown shoveled it back out to Hall. Hall should have done better with that. He shanks it into the post. It was a mongrel.
Yeah, it's 13 inside 50s now. Blazing away. I know there's a lot of heat on there, but if they just had a little bit more poise, Gold Coast, they could really get some scoreboard dominance here. It's got to be at least a 3 or 4 goal breeze, you would think.
From the throw-in.
Good jump.
Right, what about that?
That was Hall.
Yeah.
See how high he gets.
He's got a hell of a jump, hasn't he?
Watch this.
Well, he's a high jumper.
Well, he's a high jumper.
He's a high jumper.
Yeah, junior champion.
Yeah.
That's.
And O'Meara knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It was almost an anti-climax. He didn't kick the goal.
You've really got to put some body on him, but the new rule, as you know, you've got to be at least 3 metres apart before they throw it up. So it actually suits if you've got a great vertical loop.
Super effort.
Yep.
My Marriage then, he just kept Nichols away from it.
Yeah, he's drawing the 50, and that's a release the pressure valve now. totally dominated Gold Coast the last 10 minutes for not a lot of reward.
One thing I noticed about Richmond, though, I'm getting a feeling is that, no, it's Stanley encroaches, is that I reckon when they get to here, they've tried to go forward too quickly. You've got to be really measured now, spread the opposition as best you can, and even go out the other side.
Got to go out the other side a bit more.
Yeah, they said that you're just getting picked off. Every time they've gone forward, it's been in a continual straight line when they're going to the right-hand side, Richmond.
Broughton chips it over to Brennan. They've got two loose if he turns around.
Now this spells danger because this can go quickly down the other end now because now they spread and Richmond have been all caught up at the footy.
Mackenzie, you know it's going to carry a long way with him. Too far. Petted. Chipping it back.
Gee, those tents over there look inviting, don't they? To come to watch the footy in 25 degrees and a couple of cold ones. Spud.
A couple of the sponsors' products.
Short. And well done by Brown.
Is that downfield?
It is too. It'll be inside 50.
Now, Colby, it's on the 50. So he'll be kicking from 55. If you were to estimate what length kick, it's 55 in true metres, but with this breeze, how far is the kick in reality?
40 metres, I think. He just basically has to chip it.
Put it up?
Yep.
Get it up in the air.
I don't think there's going to be... It's right behind him, so he shouldn't have any trouble at all with the distance.
So Big Sam Day has been much better for the Suns since moving back. He's only kicked 18 goals.
That's good.
It's not a bad hit. That's one of his better ones. Nice hit by Big Day.
Well, Dermot, they needed that. They needed reward for effort. Yeah. Look at the discrepancy inside 50s, 14-4. It was starting to really help Richmond. They were continually bombing the ball in, and look, that's really undisciplined there. You can see this. Matty White was always... He had to smother the ball. He had an option there to throw his hands on the ball far too late. Campbell Brown drew the free kick, give away the 50, and all of a sudden the pressure builds on Richmond, and Gold Coast are getting reward for effort now.
Campbell Brown, every time he goes at the footy, he has an urgency about him these days, and he makes players remember that he hurts them. I reckon Matty White's thought, I'm going to give you some of your treatment here, but he didn't get it right. And it's a down the free, and it's a goal resulting.
Mackenzie can kick it. Could almost have gone to the square there. In fact, I think he probably should have. But anyway, Day's coming at it. Rance got there first. Whoops. Newman got out of trouble. Went back the other way and
good pressure from Gold Coast. Their pressure has been terrific.
Well, the drop from Foley, but it's cleaned up by Edwards. And that falls onto the chest of White on the wing. Keeps it down the line. Keeps it low. And Hall come in with a spoil over Marich, and that's a win for the Suns.
Looks like Big Sam Day.
They've swapped.
Yeah, he's pushed forward now.
Swap. They've got Hall back. Or is May going back? At the moment, Hall's in the ruck.
Yeah, I think they're rotating a bit, Matty.
Yeah.
Having a ball go down forward.
Yeah, they're letting Hall play against Vickery.
It falls for Shaw over the top to Prestia again. Probably a handball that wasn't required.
Well, this
kick would have done.
No, you're right, Matty. Especially the top of the square, and all of a sudden they give a free kick away. So I know that Richmond are playing the extra, and sometimes you need to create the overlap. That's a really good tackle.
Yeah, that's pretty different.
He just didn't disguise that ball. All he had to do was fall over.
Brad Vickery.
Strong mark by Vickery, but into the breeze, a big forward like him will find it hard to get into the game.
He did well
his first touch, but tape.
Oh, this is dangerous.
No one there yet, but here come the Tigers. From the spoil, Martin, hands off, Conker, wider has Pettit. A little bit of room to move. Hits it to a one-on-one, hits it too far. And disappointing move forward there.
Well, Jake King actually didn't look at the ball carrier because he just led. If he had have seen, the ball carrier was always going to kick the ball high because his eyes were up. He led expecting a short kick. He didn't read the play at all then.
Just under 5 minutes remaining.
I reckon Jakey King could have also led so hard that he drew the kick towards him. He sort of played it in between.
His timing wasn't great.
No. Scooped out the back, and it's pinged as a throw.
Well, depending on...
And there's an issue with the whistle.
Oh, the P.
Umpire's going for a new P.
He's lost his P.
Depending on who kicks it. Now, Mackenzie, this is danger.
Umpire on second P alert.
Must score. He'll try and step in on the inside here.
Bennell. That's...
Poor.
You got two players on top of the square. That was a percentage play then.
Or he could have straightened up and kicked a goal.
Well, if he marks the ball there, Matt Shaw, he's right on the boundary line.
Now, Jake King here, you called it, Spud, points to the goal square and then leads when the kicker's made up his mind.
He wasn't looking at the ball carrier. There was no connection there between ball kicker and receiver.
He was trying to give a little bit of sleight of hand, dummy his opponent, but he only dummied his teammate.
He outsmarted himself.
Yeah.
Martin trying to bring Revolt into it off the ground. He's dangerous here, Jack. He's got 1.5 metres on Thompson. Off the ground, we've seen him kick so many of those goals.
Oh, come on. There's nothing in that.
Thing is, we always, at the risk of sounding like you're educating someone, that one there, if you grab it, you at least make your opponent make a true action of tackling you. He has to do something positive to get it off you. Always take the footy. There's hands in the back.
That was a big hands in the back, but it might just sit for Cochin anyway, so he steps around Prestia. Down he goes.
They're playing physical, Gold Coast.
Yeah. Prestia.
Stephen May, good in the shoulder.
Got him here.
1-on-1. He got the first one.
Oh, well done, Chaplin.
Chaplin a bit taller, a bit smarter this time. Different opponent, different result.
Slipped him and the kick wasn't great, otherwise he had him done.
Yeah, the kick wasn't great because Bennell couldn't move. It was kicked right on top of his head. It had to be kicked to grass to allow him to run onto it.
A touch wider.
Ellis. And that's Tape again. So
Marich tried to get into Murphy, push him off it, and then go back to the drop area where Tape was in residence.
first game for the season for Seb Tape. Coming off some injuries, and his kick is not a good one. Vickery.
This is better. This is what they need to do. And even go back to Chaplin in the centre. If we pull away now, look at centre half back. See this Chaplin in the centre square. Now that would spread it and they could go down the other side. Instead, they're straight down the line. Going to be a robust contest. They do it right.
Clever kick. Kicked it under the smother. Mackenzie in front. Here's Jake King. Trying to get past a couple. Put it on the ground. Murphy underneath. Martin over the top. King again. And eventually, umpire says, I'll have it. So, with 2.25 minutes remaining, 13 points. How do you see the deficit? Is that a win for the Tigers? Or are we 50-50?
Yeah, it's half a win, but they've had 17 inside 50s for 7. I would like another 2 goals for mine, Matty.
They might get a goal here out of nothing, Richmond. Goes across the face, and Thompson left it behind.
I don't think Richmond are going to be stranded on 3 goals if they for the second quarter if they go in 17 times.
Yep.
With the win.
They may get one here against the run of play. White scoots into the middle. Sees a man on his own in Conker.
Yeah, he'll need an extra kick, you would think. Going to take his very, very best from there.
It'll hold up in the breeze.
Just a bit. If he gives it air, if it gets above the roof of the building,
needs a designated kicker.
Lucky to make the goal square.
Yeah, it doesn't get there. Oh, big catch. Marich had a fair piece of it. Umpire said not enough. Ablett's clearing kick. So some real pressure here from Richmond late in the quarter.
I thought he brought it down. I thought he had enough purchase on it, Matty. I know we'll have another look. Here we go. He's good purchase, good strength.
Oh, gee, well, that's stiff not to be paid.
He's unlucky.
Great thing about Ivan this quarter, every contest he's gone to, he's played in front, whether he's with the wind or against the wind, whichever way his body's been facing to the incoming ball, he's been in front every time. Great leadership.
Cochin will swing that around. It's now a dangerous ball. And Thompson hits it over the line, but still time for the Tigers.
He's starting to get a little bit of the ball now, Trent Cochin.
Yep.
At the 7 disposals. Looks like Daniel Jackson now is going to Ablett. Ablett was on Deledio early. Ablett with the 9. And Daniel Jackson on Deledio now working into it with 4.
Marich palmed it off for Edwards to pick it up. Edwards' kick is just what... That would have been a beauty for Richmond right at the end of the quarter. As it is, it's a 2-goal game.
Interesting to see what Gold Coast do here. Do they know it's only a minute left and just go long down the middle? The last play?
If they're going to do that, they don't have a tall man there, so you'd assume that's not going to happen. And
target spot.
Yeah.
Gee, that's a beautiful kick. That's one of the best kicks you'll see.
Brennan hasn't got the pace to outrun Ellis,
Doesn't
but he's
matter.
got little Dion Prestia in the middle, who can send it a long way, but decides to go short, and that's not good footy.
That short kick inside 50s really hurt them today. There's been too much heat on it.
Yeah.
Just gone over their heads.
If you're a leading forward, you've got to gobble them.
You do. Yeah.
It's the kind of mark we'd say, oh, good take, but we do expect them to take it anyway at league level.
What about the kick under pressure from McKenzie? He was under pressure out of the goal square. Brennan didn't have to break stride.
How'd you like to be in front of that for the rest of your career?
Let's have another look at it.
Thompson.
Let's have a look. So he's got pressure on him here.
Got the dummy.
Then off 2 steps.
He's still
look at
literally
this.
in the goal square.
And then doesn't break stride. That's one of the best kicks you'll see.
Do you notice Brennan's actually turned himself into the starting blocks for the
Before he
direction he
got
wanted to go before he marked it?
Did well there out of the contest, Brennan. They've got time here, the Suns. Swallow. 12 seconds remaining. They'll need a mark, and they might get one. Oh, it just bounces off a day.
Man free.
And he just went without it. Foley in, Pettit,
Well,
back
there you
to
go.
Day. Harbour out. They run out of time.
Well, Matty.
So quarter time, Danny, and it's a win for the Tigers.
Yeah, for all their effort, Gold Coast Dermot, 18 inside 50s, 1 mark. Just the 1 mark. Not a
6
lot of
shots
connection
as well. Yeah, 1 out of 3 entries, they're getting a shot at goal.
Quarter time at Cazaly Stadium. Saturday afternoon football in far north Queensland. Gold Coast by 12.
Great summation there from Guy McKenna. No doubt that Edwards has gone forward for Richmond now. Rewalt and Vickery.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game now. The Tigers will use this breeze. They're down by a couple of goals, but I have to say, physically, in close, the Suns have held their own.
Really good pressure, Matty, around the ball.
Yep.
The tackling and their referred pressure.
Day.
He ran well.
Over to Stanley, came over to help out, floats it forward. There's Ablett, and it doesn't quite get to him. Rance getting there first.
Well, Deledio starting on Gary Ablett again, so it looks like there's a little bit of a rotation. Deledio goes off after about 5 or 6 minutes, and then Daniel Jackson goes onto the champ.
And as you called it, Aaron Edwards goes forward this quarter. He might play 4 quarters on the left-hand end of the ground, and Tom Murphy goes to him. They'll orchestrate McKenzie to be the loose man in defence for
You would have thought
the
so.
Suns.
Yeah, well, with Edwards now on Tom Murphy, I would play Edwards out of the square. Tommy Murphy's not a bad half back, but you can see Edwards has got a really the high marking advantage on a Tommy Murphy.
Marriage
Marriage.
in front again.
Worked to it nicely in the kick forward. And playing in front is Edwards.
Well, there's the body size already coming into play.
He goes long. Big jump at it from Rewalt. He's up quickly.
Get
Thompson
into it,
got a nice little shepherd from Tate. Allowed him a bit of time. And it'll be interesting to see whether they switch to that side, Dermot, because we didn't see it at all from the Tigers.
I mean, that's the biggest switch at that end of the ground
We've seen.
this game so far.
Brennan's kick is hoping for Nichols, and he found him.
Good running.
Now they come back in. Roll right. They've zigzagged it. They've spread Richmond. This might work into attack.
Well, that's too easy.
That's good football.
Yeah, it's great footy, but you can just see the Richmond midfielders just allowing Gold Coast to waltz through the corridor.
Well, they spread them, so it wasn't a packed formation. They were looking down the line. He's not going to make the goal square from here.
But he has found a target, O'Meara, who was involved in the first play.
Well, that's a sign of a class midfielder, isn't it? You're always in the game. He had the secondary disposal in the middle of the ground.
Now, from that shot there,
Nearly
if we
impossible.
get back to that shot there, there's the breeze that comes over the top of that building. Once it gets over there, it'll bend savage left. You almost have to start.
This is going to go big time right, isn't it?
Gee, between the Gold Coast and maybe not that far.
Yeah.
He was aware of it.
No,
He
he was.
overcompensated.
In golf, you'd say he gave it every chance.
I like it when you in golf you start it out over the water and it stays there. That's what happens with me.
What's unusual about that?
But it was a good movement from the Suns. It was unpredictable, which is why they caught Richmond napping a little bit. It wasn't just a down-the-line kick. So they've got a boundary throw in here.
Well, Richmond know they've got a game on their hands. Let's face it, the contested possession's very even. The Gold Coast are winning the clearances, and they're also winning the uncontested possessions.
Well, that's what we've seen from the Suns of late. They're not a easy beat anymore. You've got to work hard to beat them. They might not be as polished. Ablett caught.
And
Edwards there again.
Yeah, well, we know they've got a lot of tall players out, but these conditions today is not conducing for high marking. So the taller players out in Dixon and Smith are not a great loss.
I'd be looking at playing your Deledio or Cochin back on Ablett again in this quarter.
Yeah, go hard. get aggressive in attack. Broughton caught.
He's not going to put as much work into you. So let's say he got 12 and Deledio or Cochin opposes him and they get 9. They're probably going to get 400 metres of yardage going to the left as opposed to his 250 into the wind going to the right. They're going to be more damaging.
So again, Marich made good position and he won the knock. He's on top in that contest. Laid it down to Jackson. The kick forward is a good one. Oh, no, it's not. It's out of bounds on the full.
Gee, I just might have entered myself in one of the stupid things. Yardage, and then I mentioned it in metres. Can you get yardage in metre?
We were talking golf before, mate. I can understand.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be your caddy. Just a different club.
Going backwards again. Second time only for the day.
Yeah. This is Murphy now. He obviously just wants to settle it.
But you looked at the Suns have still kept players across the face of goal up there, so they're looking at spreading them.
Against Marich. Nichols wins the free kick.
No, it was great use of the body from Nichols. Protected the drop zone beautifully and drew the free kick.
Oh, look at that bend away
Had to be
from
better.
it.
Russell's in trouble.
Yeah, he ducked into it.
Yep. Just got his handball away in time. Edwards hunts it through. Kept it going in the right direction. Real pressure here from the Tigers.
Good kick.
Out wide to Brown. He goes back to a man who's facing goal. They can measure it, and that's Broughton to Brennan. To Brown. Broughton, Brennan, Brown. If your surname doesn't start with BR, forget about it. Ablett. Prestia. For a little bit of PR. Just off to the right.
They're having a good run here, the Suns, Spud.
Well, they certainly are. On the stats alone, 27 disposals, and Richmond have only had the 13. And it's the uncontested possessions. That's the big discrepancy, 18-5. The run on the outside of the contest is where Gold Coast have got some ascendancy.
Hall's got to be more urgent on the chase than that.
Oh, bad drop there by Arnott. It was a good kick from Cochin.
He's like a little mini-me Jason Dunstall, Arnott, isn't he?
Turnover. Shaw. No one there to help him. Somehow Bennell did get there. Spins out of the tackle. McKenzie's got to kick it now. He does. Oh, it's another beautiful kick from McKenzie. Well, this won't be easy from Brown.
Well, only 6 Richmond players have touched the ball. You're all over it, Derm, at the start of this second quarter.
I would say this will be the toughest. Anyone who kicks from this pocket in this breeze while it's up during this game. I reckon the locals say the breeze will drop down a bit once it gets dark.
Here we go.
This is going to be as tough a kick as you will face in league football this year.
Brown from 40 metres. No, you can't start it there. Look at that go.
But the real worry for Damien Hardwick is the contested ball the start of this second quarter. 21-7. That is a big discrepancy when you're talking to Deledio, Cochin, Martin, Ellis.
Poor kick from Martin. Might come off though.
Oh, good move.
Conker. Ellis. Edwards. And they're on the burst here, Richmond. That's a beautiful kick.
Beautiful kick.
Newman. He's going to go all the way here.
Jake
Or he's going to pick out Jake King. He might not need him. Oh, and it's the post.
Jeez.
Just like the first score for the Suns in the first quarter, it was a poster.
Yeah, if Newman had his time again, he could kick that with a
Just bang it.
half a kick. Well, he's one of the best kicks in the comp.
It's a beautiful kick.
Look, he made a mistake by trying to bring his teammate into it, but just go for goal.
From that far out, it's the equivalent of a 35-metre stab through the goals.
We've seen both teams do that so far. 60 metres out, you can have a ping.
In this weather, in this breeze,
It'll get home.
McKenzie becomes the most important man on the ground. He's the one who can use the ball, set it up out of the defensive 50. Oh, there's no way I'd be allowing him to be the free-running, get-it-easy backman for the Suns if we're coaching Richmond's forward line.
Beautiful work from Prestia. Brennan. Handball spot on for Swallow. And they won't mind that going out. And what I like about the Suns at the moment is when the ball's in tight, Danny, those contested possessions, they're at it.
I'll have to back over my comment before. It was actually the uncontested possessions 21-7.
Yeah, that's when they're spreading them.
Yeah, the contested ball is still up though, Gold Coast.
Marich again. This time just going forward. Arnott. Broughton backpedaling. Wanted to get rid of it. Was pretty hot. Stanley to Harbrow. Well, May rolled the shoulders, got free, and then, it's dropped right on the line, Chaplin. Hall had given up on it. Now he gets him. Now he almost got Ellis. and Ellis will find his target. It's a good kick in the end to Pettit, but he has to wait or go back through the middle. Again, they drop the ball on the way out. Martin. Missed his target.
And they spread the opposition now, but they're going with the wind. They didn't do it in the first quarter. Got a little bit of spread and separation then.
Arnott on top of it. Broughton on top of him. Ball comes out the back. Strong work from Edwards. Jackson, the quick kick for Richmond. 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah, free kick. Colby, what about the forward set up for Richmond? Do you think they're getting too far up the ground, the Tigers?
Yeah, I'd be just interested to see what you guys think. Both ends, whether they're kicking with the wind or against it, they're coming. Riewoldt and Edwards are playing almost on the wing. Yet with the wind, you'd expect, well, obviously, the ball is going to carry further. I'm surprised that, Jake King's the one that's actually playing, 30 metres out from goal and not Jack Riewoldt.
No, correct, Wade. I think that Vickery, Riewoldt or Edwards should rotate through that key postcode. He's spot on.
Harbrow saw Ablett had some space to run into, and Ablett saw Nichols had some space that he'd run into.
Well, great positioning. Tyrone Vickery was caught spectating there. That's his direct opponent. He thought he was going to go long, and Nichols dropped into the hole beautifully.
He doesn't want to kick this. He does not want to have a shot.
Well, here's the story of this second quarter. Midfield disposal, and because Richmond are not getting the ball with any free running in between the two 50-metre lines, 20 to 38 possessions. It's coming back at him.
Oh, it's a pass to O'Meara. Set play.
You talk about the start of the second quarter. Jager has been incredible. This is 5 disposals, his first mark.
This is not an easy kick.
It's still not an easy kick.
It's still a tough kick.
But between the two 50-metre arcs, Spud, 20 to 38 disposals. It's now 39 disposals between the two 50-metre arcs. Richmond are just not getting their hands on the ball, the midfielders, in the true centre of the ground.
Right-hand post and low.
Yep.
Good boy.
Good boy. Finishes it. Look at it. O'Meara gets the first goal of the second quarter.
Once it gets a little bit of sting off the kick, when it gets through about 30 metres away from the boot. It just took off. Oh, it just bends at right angle. So that's about as far as you want to be out if you're kicking at goals on an angle at that end. Wonderful kick there. Yeah, Richmond midfield, they're getting a little bit of it, not a heap, but they're making it desperately easy for the Gold Coast Suns to play their style of footy.
Enough has been said about Jager O'Meara and his short little career to know that we'll be talking about him for a long, long time.
It was magnificent, Matty, but what about the 3 Richmond defenders that looked around and watched him mark the ball? Someone had to take a piece of the ball and the body. 3 spectators.
The clearance, but Richmond have numbers here. And they do work it out. Fostone's kick forward. Spoil from Thompson. Crummer required for the Tigers. Russell's in trouble.
Richmond man down behind players. It's Jack Riewoldt.
He's getting up now. It's touch off the boot. Day the spoil. Thompson misses it. Tate tries to tap it at the boundary. Jake's there. Thompson got in the way of McKenzie. Taken by Foley off the outside of the boot. Almost something from nothing. Just what the Tigers needed was a goal out like that.
Well, their intensity lifted.
Yep.
You could see the intensity is really lifted. They're aware of the situation, Richmond.
McKenzie once again. I cannot believe how important McKenzie is. Play on already, touch it on the boot, and look where he lands it. He's still kicking at 60 metres.
Still 60 metres from goal, but good work from Vickery. He can send it all the way back in, but he decides to go inboard. Yeah. Flostone's within range, floats it forward, but it's offline. Another behind to the Tigers, but now starting to get some momentum.
Yeah, well, Josh Hall there just elected to use the body. Should have spoiled the ball when behind. The ball was always going to drop.
And will we see the same thing? This time just a lazy little one off a step. You've got to be careful there.
Perfect kick. He's just so... I mean, it's Dale Lewis, it's Mark Bayes, the kicking action, but it's
This is indicative, beautiful. Dermot, of Richmond's efforts in the contested ball. Have a look. You've got 3 Richmond players there.
Looking at the man.
Yeah, and 4, actually. And one player going at the ball.
None of them looking at the flight of the ball.
And that was an issue last week against North Melbourne as well.
Yeah.
Rance to Pettit to Chaplin. With some time here. Should find a target or at least get it deep. King got rid of Tate. And now well within range.
Beautiful use of the body.
Yep.
Just the hit on the body was just, the timing was perfect. You know, we talked about his timing, the lead in the first quarter. That was absolutely perfect timing on the use of the body.
Well, we watched a few of the Richmond players lining up here before the game, so he knows that he has to hit it left side and let it come back.
He's got it left side, all right.
He hit it left side, and he sort of almost off the inside of the boot.
Well, we can just see the light fading here now, and I just wonder how. Well, you got to trust the locals. They say the wind drops when it gets to night time. You'd want to have a little bit of a lead if you got some dominance with the breeze.
Mackenzie's kick holds up, but it still is 65 metres from goal. Josh Hall did well to get it to Swallow. Prestia, look at him line up there. Stanley to Ablett. And he wants to take them on. They took a bounce, got his kick. All Richmond though on the way back. Here they go, rebound footy coming. Martin gets it from Chaplin. The 1-2. Out wide at Conker. Martin thinks about coming on.
Gary Up was actually too quick for his teammates there. He's looking for handball received, but he was actually too quick.
Yeah.
Delidio.
Actually employed themselves pretty well ahead of the ball here, the Suns.
They worked
done
back
well.
hard there.
And so he's forced to go short. Got to be careful with the push in the back. We've seen that a couple of times from the Suns.
Especially with this wind, Matty.
Yeah, 50 metres is a goal, isn't it? White. Big switch coming. They got players out wide. Rance. Uses Pettit. He's free. And he just chips it up in the air. Revolt comes at it and misses it. Hall in trouble. Edwards slides in cleverly to Foley, centres the ball top of the square, good discipline kick, Crummer needed, got one in Jackson.
Great pressure.
O'Meara was there, Russell is there, Jackson's back over it a second time.
Gee, it was a terrific kick from Foley.
Yes, it was discipline, wasn't it?
It was great tackling from Gold Coast.
Rory Thompson came in, made contact with the body to the head, and then gently drew away and saying, "Oh, nothing here, move on, move on."
Off the ground, close. Edwards. And it's through for a behind. So they're peppering the goal here, Richmond. Yeah. But unfortunately, one goal, 7.
Yeah, well, Trent McKenzie's going to have a sore left leg.
Yeah.
He's the most important player in their team at the moment, just yardage of the ball.
Fatigue set in. He's got 16 players within about 30 metres of the goal square.
Yeah. And it's eventually we're going to see this.
Yeah, he only had 2 players, looking at the scope of the ground, he only had 2 players outside 50 as targets, and they were never going to be used.
But you're right. Richmond's last 10 minutes have dominated the play, but their turn to be inaccurate this quarter.
They're coming hard here, Richmond. They've got just under 8 minutes before half-time to wrestle the lead off the Gold Coast as it is. It's 28-14. From the throw-in. Prestia is at it. Edwards. Wrapped up by a couple in Murphy and Broughton.
Now, the basic principle here is if you're the defending team, you don't hit it out. You keep it in tight, so it'll be a body on body and it stays in the pack.
Play on.
Richmond needs someone to just pick it up and have a shot. But it's going the other way for them. Flostone can't keep it in.
So he needed a dive on that, and we would have said great mark, but he needed to dive and take a chest mark. And that's what happens when you quickly hack it forward and kick it to the outside. The opposition are on the outside and they get a shot from 50 metres. With this breeze, it's like a 30-metre shot.
Arnott was there first, but it's cut off by the Suns. Russell off the outside of the boot trying to keep it in. Not successful. It'll be a Richmond kick.
Yeah, no left foot there.
And a switch coming again. Or is it? Hall's got real speed, but he's just got to pick the footy up. Now he does. Pettit's got him. By hand, Harbrow.
Oh, good attack, both players.
Just put the boot on it.
Yep.
Martin. Hall just let him go.
We didn't want contact from the bumping player.
That's exactly right.
With their fumbly at the moment, Richmond, though.
Yeah.
Not too clean coming out of defence, the Tigers.
Just their intent at the moment.
Play on, it's gone 25 metres.
You reckon they were allowed to pack their golf clubs coming up this time? Wouldn't have thought so, Spade.
No, not after last week's performance against North.
Through the middle they go. Revolt, a long way from goal. Called the play on.
It was
Nearly 50.
Yep. Good lead from Edwards.
Murphy arrives. Edwards up first. By hand, slips it to Cotchin. Low to Jackson, and the captain found his target.
Now we saw with Day's kick where he was out a bit further and it allowed him to use a bit more of the breeze and open the face. but it is kickable from this pocket.
He needs to kick at the left goalpost, the
Just let
furthest
it- let
goalpost.
it blow through. Yeah, we'll get a good look at this.
Put it in the goal square and let the wind just push it through.
I reckon he wants to, you're thinking almost like get it
Here
at
it is.
half
Good look,
goalpost
yeah.
height and aim for the centre of the goal square and make sure it passes there at half goalpost height.
Perfect.
That'll go good.
That's exactly what he needed to do. Great finish from Daniel Jackson, and the Tigers with an 8.
It was a
Dermot.
wonderful kick too. He just, I mean, the kick that made its way to Jackson is very clever, Cochin. Just almost kicks under the armpit, and the good spoil there by Tom Murphy. The little give out the back sums it up. Yeah, one under the armpit there. Jackson leads at him.
Now, the last 10 minutes, Richmond really dominated. They're 6 inside 50s to 1 goal 4. They needed that goal, the Tigers.
Well, the penny might have dropped for the Tigers. At least their supporters would hope so. 33 to 13 possession-wise in the last 10 minutes. 6 inside 50s to 1.
No, you're right, Colby. And the contested ball as well, 12 to 7. And more importantly, the uncontested ball, 20 to 3 Richmond's favour.
Jackson again, the clearance. Here come the Tigers once more. Jake King almost an impossible grab. It comes to Aaron Edwards. He gives it to Foley. He throws it on the boot. It goes over the back. Will it bounce through?
Yep.
I think it has. 2 in a row, Richmond.
It looked like Dave tried to spike it over his head. I reckon the contact coming from behind made him misjudge the hit or the tap on the ball. We have a look at it here once again. Quick clearance, gets out the back. Jackson just doesn't worry about finesse. Now, not this one. See May come back here. Little screw kick over the top.
Foley.
And Vickery's...
Oh, he has 2.
Yeah.
The contact has made him miss it.
Well, as an ex-defender,
Ex-fullback.
well, the issue, he had to mark the ball. So he had the player beaten. It was far too far out. He was 16 to 17 metres out to try and spike that ball through there from Dern. I can know his intent was to put it through for a point. That's a very difficult action when the wind is actually going with the ball.
Just get up and
Or spoil it
punch the
15
living
metres wide.
suitcase
Yeah.
out of it.
I agree with this one. The worst option is they've got to actually dispossess it.
Here's Edwards. Here they go again. Forward. Pressure is mounting. Day to Mackenzie. And he had to find a target to relieve some of that pressure.
Yeah,
Tell you
it's
what.
8 inside 50s to 1 the last 10 minutes.
Tell you what we have got. At half-time, the Suns are going to go in and they will believe.
A very important last
Stop. Blood rule, Matt White.
440.
Blood rule, Matty White.
Matt White has to come off.
Blood rule.
Tell the player he can come on.
But I think when Lee Colbert talked about the forward setup, even though the taller forwards haven't kicked the goals, they look more dangerous, Richmond, with having a key post deep, whether it's Riewoldt, Edwards or Vickery. Early on in this quarter, they were opening up a paddock with the deepest forward about 30 metres out, trying to kick the ball over the top.
So just the delay while Jackson comes back on. It's been good in this second quarter. In fact, he's had 13 disposals for the game.
He's at 8 this quarter too, Matty.
He's been good. And finished off with a nice kick at goal. Get things going. Here they go again. They're all running forward now. Arnott to Cochin. Within range. Runs to 50. Sets it on its way. Oh, I thought he would have done better with that.
Yeah, 2 goals, 6. And the real issue for Guy McKenna and the coaching staff are the ease from the clearances there. There was no sweeper whatsoever. You're playing into a 3 or 4 goal breach, yet there's no defensive sweeper.
Beautiful kick again from Mackenzie. They all know it's going in that direction. Brown trying to help out. He's come down the ground. Swallow on hands and knees. Cut off by Edwards. He's thrown out of it. Nichols a 1-2 with Shaw. He might be the 1-2 with Murphy.
He's looking for
3-4.
switches.
He's looking for more. Bernal going back. Good pressure, Richmond. Mackenzie.
He won't panic.
Not a lot of targets, though. And it missed. Numbers, Richmond. Foley again. Off a step. Very wide. And touched off on the line.
What's happening at Gold Coast at the moment? I know that Richmond are bombarding the inside 50s. It's 11-6 this quarter, but it's 9-1 the last 15 minutes. There's no run out of the back half for Gold Coast, so they're happy to concede the inside 50s, but there's no penetration with rebounds.
Well, Russell did okay there. There was good quick hands from the Suns to get it away, but again, it's a wall of Tigers here. Newman.
That's a good kick.
Chaplin.
We'll switch it well.
Oh, he can go very long, or he can hit a man on the lead.
Perfect.
And he did. And that man is Dustin Martin. And Martin can put Richmond in front for the first time.
Well, that unsettles any defence, the continual switch, especially when you're kicking with the breeze. And Martin picked it up beautifully. He was on his bike before the switch was implemented out of the goal square.
Ball was in flight. Going across from Newman to Chaplin, and Martin had already forged his body position to the front of his opponent.
Dustin Martin. Distance won't be an issue. We'll be right behind him. Just needs to start at left, as we mentioned a couple of times, and let the breeze take it through. Pretty good. Oh, hangs out there. Well, maybe that breeze is starting. It doesn't look like it's dropping off at the flag.
It's almost directly goal face from the other end to the goal face there. So unless you get it from that type of angle right in the centre of the goals, it will stay left if you start it outside from this side of the ground.
So 2.5 minutes remaining for the Tigers to hit the front. Essentially, the game is what we thought.
Yep.
Gold Coast first quarter, Richmond the second, scores level, but Richmond have got 2.5 minutes on the clock.
I think Colby's got some local knowledge here from last year. The wind does die down after dark, Colby.
Yeah, that seems to be, you know, across the board. Everyone seems to think that's the case. So for the Suns, they're hoping at least it'll blow for the third quarter.
Looks like Bluey's thought to himself, no, just got to let him play out this.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter what I say or do at the moment in terms of using the runner. They've just got to play the sport.
Very composed there. Mark Riley as well. Triple level.
Cochin was working hard. Good tackle, Edwards on Russell. And the clock ticks down.
Inside 2 minutes to negotiate now.
Ablett dying to get back out there. Bennell couldn't take it. Well, Ellis wins a free kick, didn't have it, and he's within range.
Yeah, it's a big discrepancy since O'Meara kicked the goal.
Yep.
It's now 12 inside 50s to 1. So they've really dominated Richmond. But the bonus for Gold Coast, the Tigers have only kicked 2 goals 6.
So can Ellis make it 3-6? We saw Jackson kick well from here. He's a bit further out.
That's not bad.
He needs it to come back. Oh, he learned from his teammate. Super goal from Ellis.
That's a magnificent set shot, Matty. And they needed it too, because we talked about Gold Coast in the first quarter. Have a look at the free kick. Yeah, far
Pretty
too
clear.
long. Yeah, far too long on the tackle there. Have a look at that. That's a beautifully weighted kick. Just put the ball out to the goal square. Great reaction there from Ellis. As I said, 12 inside 50s to 1 and 3 goals 7.
Well, that gives you an indication of the breeze advantage at that end. It's not getting the full ride of the breeze because he's not going directly with it. He was just cutting across it. He's kicked from the 50 and it's gone 15 metres over the goal line. He's kicked a 65-metre drop punt, nice and easy.
They might get another one here. Kicked forward by White. King is lurking. He loves it here. Pushes off the post. Still plenty of time.
Yeah, there is.
6 points up, Richmond. Nichols just palmed it down in front. King got rid of McKenzie. Nichols, handball along the ground. Edwards in the way. Back to Ellis. Delidio. Vickery wanted it square. High ball up. Floats towards the goal line. And a strong mark under pressure to Broughton.
One thing you would do if you actually had the computer out at halftime with the Gold Coast Suns, on those types of stoppages, those types of packs, it's like 3/4 of the Suns players are getting to the defensive side of the pack.
Yeah.
So if the ball spills further up the ground, Richmond get it, they feed it out the back further, but the snap kick's going to carry an extra 15-20. You've got to spread the amount of players around the ball, both sides of the pack. Once again, we have a look at it. Only Brennan is forward of the ruckman here. So Richmond first hands on.
Harbrow trying to barrel through, but he's not getting past Ellis.
Let's see if they set up better again here. Watch Ablett, Bennell, Prestia. Only, once again, no one on the attacking side of the pack.
Chance for Edwards. Kept it going forward, revolves, handball over the top, it's 2-on-1, can King get it across? Foley dives in on hands and knees, he gets it back. Good tackle, but it's still alive, Arnott. Arnott again. And he just stood in the tackle, handballed it through. Tigers haven't not give up on this goal yet. Umpire giving them plenty of time, eventually the whistle goes.
Yeah, a lot of numbers around the ball for obvious reasons.
No one wanted the ball there, Brennan. And they're just desperately hanging on for half-time here. Brennan just shoveled it out. Still a chance, Richmond. Run out of time. So siren sounds, and as we expected, Richmond have come back and they've found the front. And the irony of these two games, or the three games now up in Cairns, the first two games, whoever won the toss was leading at half-time, or whoever kicked left was losing. So what that means is that so far it's falling into place for the Tigers, but we've still got two halves. And half-time, Richmond 34, Gold Coast 28. Danny and Dermot back after the break.
There's no doubt in that, Matty, and as Damien Hardwick talked about, very tough conditions. As I said, 4 goals each, Richmond 4 goals 10. Inside 50s, similar, 24, contested ball. It comes down to the side that's going to make the least amount of mistakes. There's no doubt that Richmond will put a couple of extras behind the ball.
+3 at this minute. There's 9 Richmond defenders in the Suns forward 50. And Mackenzie's going to let loose with the cannon, but he kept it low. There's defenders everywhere for Richmond here. Prestia, they got rid of him. Conker couldn't get past Big May. And there's a bit of push and shove.
Yeah, you can see at the centre bounce there, Matty, there was just, as I said, there was 9 Richmond players and 7 Gold Coast Suns forwards.
Morris got it away to Chaplin out wider. Day the spoil. Harbrow sort of zipped before he zapped. And that's a good tackle from Vickery.
See, these types of tackles right here, a kick from here, a good player, a good kicker from here, he's going to travel that journey. You've got to be so careful on giving away a free kick from about this distance as well.
Look at the numbers deep in the goal square for Gold Coast. Gary Ablett started forward 2 on Steve Morris, so the champ had the 3 disposals in the second quarter, 9 in the first. There's the matchup.
So Marich to look for the front position against Nichols. Nichols got rid of him and grabbed it out of the ruck and gave it to Broughton. Mackenzie's on his wrong side. Off the right boot. We don't see that very often. He's got 2 cannons.
I said it real early on. This bloke is the most... When it comes down to these conditions, he might have other players get more ball than him. Well, he hasn't actually. He's got the most. Yep. But that's because of his employment out there.
Good finish.
He's the most dangerous player on the ground.
Young Nichols got rid of Marich pretty well.
Yeah, that was magnificent play. As you said, he's had the 18 disposals, doing. More importantly, 16 of those kicks at 81%. So he spent the second quarter kicking out from full-back. Now he's 4 to the centre.
Playing his 50th game, burst onto the scene the first season, was quiet last year, struggled a bit, but he's back in form.
Yeah, the perfect start for Gold Coast.
Yeah, they've got
to raise the deficit.
Yep.
If he gets 8 kicks as a midfielder this quarter, they could pile on half a dozen.
Cotchin will clear here, though. And then he goes wide, very wide indeed. Edwards ran past it. And went back to get it, though. Tap was a little bit hard. Brennan palms off the left boot, has a man in the middle, and that's Stanley.
Wait. It's forward, fine. Move it on.
And he goes to the pocket. There's a big leap coming at the back. It's spoiled down in front. It's all Richmond here. Marich slipped it quickly, and they run it hard through the middle. High ball.
Thought he nearly ducked into that.
Put the head down.
It was head high, but did he initiate the head high tackle?
Away they go through Delidio. Long ball up and making good position was Vickery. Didn't take the mark off the ground once, twice. Not yet. And they might get out of danger here yet, the Suns, or are they out of danger? Not really.
Good pressure.
Yep, Richmond will force it back in quickly. Foley to Martin. And he found Revolt.
This will be the toughest kick he has this year.
He's trying to pinch a few metres there, and the umpires will wake up.
Have a look at the black sky there, Lee Cole. It looks like it's going to rain very, very shortly.
Leave that out of the call, Danny. It's perfectly fine down here. No.
Get your umbrella
Right,
up, mate.
take us through this one, mate.
Well, he's got to be brave enough now to literally start this close to the near point post, just inside it, goal side of the near point post, and hopefully it spears across the face through the goals.
No, it's going to go too far.
It's almost a punch on that angle. It'll turn like a boomerang from that
nearly
pocket.
have to boomerang it. I know he's probably too far out
Against
to
the
do
wind.
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Get the.
It'll come back into play though. It'll get.
Yeah, you're right.
In the
Look at
cricketing
this kick.
terms, it'll get the reverse drift on
That's
it.
a punch gone 70 metres.
Yeah, it's gone a long way, but I reckon he picked out the wrong target. It was Hall on 2. He needed someone with a bit of height there. And here go Richmond on a counter-attack. Ellis's kick. Revolt arrives.
Oh, he's copped one there, Mackenzie.
That was a good sport from Jack Revolt.
And a bit of push and shove from Bennell, but not sure
There's nothing
Jack's
in
too
that.
upset.
Jack Revolt just went at the ball.
Well, the umpire said let it go, so
Yeah,
we knew that
exactly.
Jack made the contact, so it's legal and
We'll
it's
have a
fair.
good look at this. It's just a good spin.
Tell you
Well, it was a
what,
free kick in the end. That's what it was. It was
should have been.
Yeah,
Should
it was
have been a free kick. Forearm to the side of the head.
Morris
Free kick.
tackles from Brown. Here's Ablett.
I've got a few of them from you, Spark.
Slipped it to Hall, who slipped it to Bennell. Ablett wants it, has got it, and he's got 3.
Oh, Brennan. Good running, Brennan.
And the kick just fell short. Well done, Flostone. Was under some real pressure there. Chaplin just kicks it out wide. It bounces for Foley. O'Meara sort of corrals him away, but Foley gets the kick away. Martin, the palm off. So good at that.
That's poor by Tommy.
And the kick into the middle should suit the Suns. Big Nichols.
He's
Broughton.
athletic, isn't he?
Yep.
200 centimetres at ground level.
Murphy.
Oh, good spotter.
And he spotted someone there, and that's Hall.
And they only
The Chaplin's the one again. They need to just make sure that he is the only, like he's not free. You can see Troy Chaplin in the top of screen here, 2-on-1. There he is on his
This, I'm telling you, this
He
is
can get home
gettable.
here. Yeah.
This is gettable. He gives this a ride, gives it plenty of air. Oh no, well, umpire, he could line it up.
It's to the top of the square. Disciplined kick. Bit of a push there from Stanley. It's back towards Pettit. Decides to just go short to conquer.
Gee, the way Sam Day kicked that one in the first quarter, the ride he gave that, you give it air, maybe it's probably a bit cross breeze from this side.
Here's Hall with that spring.
Yeah, this is where Campbell Brown has to be selfless. He's on rants, but he needs to go and engage Troy Chaplin. So at least cast the doubt on who's free for Richmond.
Oh, Josh Hall getting a little bit overconfident there. Now they've run themselves into trouble. Brennan left, then right.
It might work, you know.
And he screws it back, but it's short. Petted the chest mark. And what we saw from Richmond in the first quarter was down this side.
Yeah.
Came down the line.
Well, I think the last thing you can do deep in defence at this end is switch the ball. That's the only option Trent Cotchin had.
Good result.
Yeah, it was a great result.
But they'll have to go the same again. We've got
But
Floston in the centre. They need one to peel back to the goal square.
Big spoil coming, and the Crummers aren't it. Martin steps, and steps nicely. But then the kick
well
off
done.
the back of Marriage. And back to Martin. It's still in. And here's Harbrow to launch it. Oh,
No, he had to go long.
Yeah.
That's when you just go long.
he'd want that one again.
You can see what he's trying to do, but the degree of difficulty there was far too great.
Eye ball up. It's going to caught in the breeze again. Thompson the spoil. Towards the boundary, and that's where it finishes up.
Let it go. Great angle, Chris.
6 inside 50s to 2 at the start of this third quarter.
Handball receives 14 to 10, so in favour of Gold Coast. So they're just using the ball a little bit shorter, which is not too bad when you're going with the win. You don't have to go long every time.
Ablett looked up, saw 3 Tigers there. Russell to help out. Good tackle, Cotchin.
Well, they switched right
Edwards. Ellis. Edwards. It's
Power.
Aaron Edwards. May. Head down.
It's like a bulldozer.
Trying to get through. Aaron Edwards goes again as well. May for the second effort. It's tough and it's hard at the minute. That's Swallow. And he wins a free kick.
Yeah, they deserved it. Gold Coast, they were terrific at the contest there. As I said, started with May and then Swallow. If you can do it, I can do it.
Stephen May will get no stat for that, but he created that forceful urging forward of the footy.
Well, he forced his teammates to compete.
High ball up. Easy one for the defenders to spoil. Brown got there in time. O'Meara back to Brown. There's not a lot of room to be fancy inside your forward 50 at the minute. There's a lot of defenders there. You've either got to spread it wide or get it going.
I know it seems strange, but when Campbell Brown had the ball, he had to know all his help was behind the ball.
Yep.
He tried to go forward, and all he was doing was running forward into extra Richmond numbers. Handball the ball out the back, then switch like Richmond did at the end of that second quarter.
He leaped from Vickery, got rid of Nichols. Press to your work.
Here's the switch. This is better.
That's the switch to Russell now. He's got plenty of time.
David Kidd Hall, he's on the lead.
Oh, he's missed Shaw with a horrible handball. Flostone, head down. Got to be careful. Almost dragged it in. Swallow flipped it out to Harbrow. They get a second effort. They get a second chance. Out wider towards Aaron Hall. Bennell likes to use it. Top of the square. Up goes May. Came down without the footy. And again, Richmond's defence holds firm. They may have to again. Murphy. Handball inboard. Wants a fair bit from O'Meara. Jackson.
Yeah, good attack, Jackson.
And a good tackle, Swallow. Arnott running, and Richmond to run it out. Cotchin. Just put it down in front. It's not a good kick.
Rory Thompson's backed himself in here. Oh, he's hurt, Rory Thompson.
And he's going to have to get up quickly because they haven't cleared it yet. Brown slides in. You can just see to the right. In the hands of the trainers, Rory Thompson. They can't afford to lose him.
He's holding his face.
There's a bit of aggression here from Brown on Cotchin.
Well, Jack Rewalt will be on his own now because Rory Thompson don't need to call for the stretcher here if he can't move.
I reckon he could have something with his cheekbone or the likes. He held the hand
They're
straight.
assessing.
Watch it here.
Look, Arnott. Thompson go hard at it.
Oh no, it's in the middle.
Low.
Yeah, into the ribs, is it? Campbell Brown.
Yeah, that was silly from Campbell Brown.
Well, you know what? It was. But there's so many head-high tackles these days of blokes slipping them. If you're going to go through with one, you get a bit of value for money.
I think Rory Thompson at the moment is the story, though, because you could see Arnott went low, and it was definitely in the torso area.
And young Matthew Arnott, as I said, he's a mini-me Chief Dunstall body build.
Yeah, let's have a look at the... Here he is. He's solid, Arnott.
Compact.
Here's the impact again. He goes low, Arnott.
Oh, midriff.
Ribs.
There's no doubt it's ribs. Yeah, it's ribs. And his right elbow was tucked in, so his elbow on impact from Arnott has gone into his rib cage. So,
what's Jack Revolt's stats for the game? Because this is a big loss for the Suns.
It means probably May will have to go back.
Revolt 6 disposals, 2 behinds. That'll change with no Thompson.
Yeah, there you go.
Will.
Gentle hand on the mid-torso area. Nothing to do with the knee, even though his both feet came off the ground as if he was trying to ride the bump in the end. So they separate the frame, they'll reassemble it around him. It slides in under him.
He's in a spot of bother, and Boston prepares to come on. But Boston isn't your perfect swap for Thompson, so some rearranging to be done here.
And it's not the concussion rule where they can assess, so they'll have to make a decision. It looks like he's...
Yeah, well,
he's doing
Bluey's come down. He wants pretty much what you said. They have to make a decision.
He's going to Simon Fletcher, the runner, just to explain the matchups, because there will be a whole different domino effect when Thompson goes off.
Well, May has to go back, as Dermot said, and then Boston becomes another forward.
Or do they roll the dice when they're kicking with the win, a Tommy Murphy type on Rewalt, because the ball... I know the matchup won't be great, but the ball won't go in there a lot.
They went with Tommy Murphy on a much bigger player last week. And you might have to try and win the game in this third quarter.
No question, they have to be in front at three-quarter time. They can't hang on.
Well, the inside 50s are 9-2. So I think you've got to roll the dice on a mismatch. Get a running type player on Rewalt. Don't worry about the size difference, because the ball's only been in there what, twice in 9 minutes? It's been in 9 times, so you play the odds. If it continues like that, because the first quarter was 18 inside 50s to 5. So Jack Riewoldt might get the 3 or 4 opportunities at the end of this third quarter. And you might have, you know, as a coach, you might be worried about it.
At the moment, the way it stands, Seb Tate's rolled over to Riewoldt.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad matchup.
He's got a little bit of height about him.
Yeah, even though he hasn't played a lot
Murphy
of
with
fullback.
Vickery.
Yep.
Well, we just saw Damien Hardwick on screen. He'll be thinking now is my moment. We're not going to score wildly in this third quarter, but now is the moment where I can actually win the game if we can totally seize up.
And that's good coaching from Guy McKenna.
Gold Coast.
You know, look, as Rory Thompson comes off the ground, he's in great hands there with the medical staff from Gold Coast.
We'll get a report as soon as we can on Rory, but this has settled down now, and we're back with Cochin with the free kick.
Broughton comes onto the ground.
And there's a lot of players in a pack here as he kicks deep.
Rain's falling now as well.
Yeah. Well, there's the matchup already, Murphy on Vickery.
And Vickery quickly looking for Riewoldt. Tate got a hand to it. Jackson got boot to it. And Jackson kicks the goal.
Jakey King's into Gary Ablett Jr. You watch, Ablett separates from his direct opponent to be the third man up spoiler. In doing so, he ends up at the front of the pack, leaving Jackson for the crumb at the back. Quick snap. Jackson's a junior key position forward player. He's got good goal sense. Given time, he's a very good executor of the footy around goals.
No, it was a terrific goal. No, he is, and the rain's coming down. But you're right, Dermot. Gary Ablett, I know he's a leader, but at that stage he just had to play the percentages. He's playing deep in Richmond's forward half, stay down on Daniel Jackson.
He played it like an attacking defender then.
Rain falling as Richmond have a 7-point lead and one against the run of play, and Riewoldt might just get into the game right here, right now. Broughton went past it. Matty White, O'Meara went through his legs, but ends up with Ablett. The smother's good. Bennell, got to see more from him. Goes with the top off the outside of the boot. Good luck. Day. This is Conker. Took a long time. Rance, smother, half effective. Shaw, tackle from Morris is strong. Shaw finally got rid of it. Marich looks up, wants some support. He gets it. Rance off the left. Rain getting heavier. Spoil from Broughton.
And the wind's getting heavier too, Matty, which is surprising.
It's going to get slippery. Nichols, hit in hope out the back. Rance did well. Marich, he did get the call out the back.
Still me.
It goes inside the forward 50. Bad bounce for Riewoldt. Falls for Tate. They're on the back pedal here, though, the Gold Coast. And Ablett wants to get rid of it. Get it long, get it out of the danger zone.
It's always going to go over the back, that kick.
And they've got a man running for it. It's Hall, but Chaplin stood his ground.
Well, he's like the wicket keeper at the moment, Matty. He's just a backstop. We might it down to Lee Cole, but what are the conditions like down there, Colby?
Yes, Bud. Well, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit, and the wind has picked up. The change is not expected for another sort of 4 or 5 hours, so we're pretty much set for the rest of the night now.
We see Tom Murphy has been forced, and you talk about that knock-on effects, but he's been forced to go to Tyrone Vickery now at centre-half back.
McKenzie.
Conceding about 10-12 centimetres.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Since Rory Thompson's been off, Richmond have put the ball inside their forward 53 times to 0. Gold Coast.
No, he's got to be careful here. He had to flip it out, and he did. Bennell trying to use his pace. Morris has got a fair bit as well. 7-point margin to the Tigers.
Well, Newman's the free man now because they've elected the man up chap. We'll see Newman there near the runner. He's the free man for Richmond. So if Gold Coast go forward, just be aware that Newman is playing the quarterback role. Is that the sliding rule for Gary Abbott's asked the question? Steve Morris there. Let's have a look.
Oh, that's the epitome of it.
Yeah,
that is a classic.
That's had to be a free kick to Gary Ablett.
Yeah.
Especially in those conditions. I know that Steve Morris's intent was to put it over the ground, but he took Gary Abbott's legs.
Brennan was on his left boot. It's touched. It'll go out. It'll be a throw-in. He was on his left side, and he went back the other way. percentage would have been to just set it to the top of the square.
Stevie, touch.
Tigers holding firm. And
Foley's looking after Ablett at this throw-in.
Thompson off for the Suns. O'Meara through traffic. Harbrow couldn't take it the first time, does the second. Jackson again working hard.
See how Jackson pulled it back into the pack.
And you want a free kick for a high tackle against Brennan. Lee.
Good quarter.
Yes, just on the sub, Andrew Boston's about to come on, so Rory Thompson looks like it's going to be him. And Spud, I think you're pretty right, mate, with that elbow. I think that's what actually caused the damage.
Yep.
So, and there is Boston. He's on. He went for it and didn't quite take it. Richmond just happy to play scrappy footy in this quarter. And it's only as far as Shaw.
Well, it's hard to switch in these conditions now, isn't it?
Well, a good kick like that.
He can go here if this sits up.
It sits up for him, though.
Bad luck.
It didn't sit up just yet. Now he can cut back towards Stanley. And through his legs, some party tricks. They need a good long kicker.
Oh.
Or they need not to fumble.
Well, look, the last thing in these conditions, Matt, is to over-possess the ball.
Yep.
It's amazing. Since Rory Thompson's been off, Richmond have dominated the game.
But nonetheless, a 1 metre handball hit very softly directly to you, you should be able to accept.
Martin's kick not his best off the outside of the boot, but they maintain possession for a second. Brennan's came in. That's what he does.
Fierce.
He goes again.
Well done, Campbell Brown.
Slaps it forward.
That was better intent because he didn't give a free kick away.
No, but that's what he does. Everything is fierce, and he looks to hurt the opposition body. Bang, he's lined him up there. And then the next time somebody who's got a temper in retaliation gives a free kick away against him, everything is a max effort with Campbell Brown. It's a great...
And that's a perfect bump that he executed in because he stayed low.
Yeah.
If he had have jumped off the ground, he would have been in trouble, but he stayed nice and low and compact.
Story of this quarter, though, is the inability of the Suns to get something happening on the scoreboard. Richmond very pleased with the way things are unfolding here.
Well, the way Richmond are playing has nothing to do with the Rory Thompson injury. Because they haven't had the ball inside their forward 50, Matty, since he's been off. Have a look at the inside 50s. Gold Coast were actually 9-2 when Rory Thompson was stretching off the ground. So they've had the last 3 inside 50s, Richmond.
Just lightened off, Lee.
It has, mate. It looks like it's going to be intermittent. It's not going to be set for the whole rest of the game.
Yeah, it's lightened off, but it's horizontal.
Yeah, that's true.
So, again, the Tigers happy to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Happy to just wind the clock down. Plenty of numbers around the ball.
Big Evans showing no signs of introducing himself to the local barbers.
None at all.
That mullet's here for a while.
Campbell, keep it down, boys.
And umpire's giving plenty of time for the ball to come free, but we have another ball up.
It was just a game of yardage now with these conditions. Finesse is out of the game. Real scramble.
Scramble out. Prestia tries to get some of that yardage.
Well, it's better play. Even though it went to a contest, I think they've realised now, Gold Coast, that the extra handball is fraught with danger. All we're going to do is give Richmond an opportunity to pick it up, as we see the Gold Coast
1 metre, boys.
assistants.
1 metre on the rock.
Mark Riley and Blue McKenna deep in conversation.
Marich happy to paddle it towards the line. Delidio forcing it forward, hoping to gain some yards. O'Meara. And good pressure, Richmond. They're at it hard.
The game's been played over there for the last 5 minutes, which really does suit Richmond.
Another good smother this time, Delidio.
Way down the other end, Aaron Edwards, he doesn't know what the ground looks like up at the other end.
No.
He's played 3 quarters now at the left-hand end of the ground. Key back, key forward. Well, second or third string in both roles.
Well, if the weather does dry up, Dermot, without Rory Thompson, their key defender, off the ground,
you'd worry.
Yeah.
He is petted on the burst for Richmond. Trying to get something
that's a beautiful kick.
away on this side of the ground to Newman. And
Good
they
running
get some
in from
run.
Edwards.
Here's Edwards.
That's great overlap. When you've got the extra down back as Richmond, you need the overlap to come from behind.
And he found his target nicely, Jake King.
Well, he kicked it like a true forward, exactly where he wanted the ball, out in front.
Heads towards Revolt.
And Revolt.
He's always dangerous when it hits the ground, though. Tape's got him, and got him good.
Oh, he's been watching rugby league.
Yep.
I don't know what he's arguing about there.
Hit that meter.
He's a competitor.
Good tap forward by Marich, hoping someone could run onto it.
That's one
Murphy.
way of describing it, Speed.
Shaw, Mackenzie.
Yep, nothing there.
It just sort of bounces over Edwards, though. Aaron Edwards back.
Oh, there's steam gone out of the Suns now.
Yeah.
If you're a forward and the ball comes back down like that, that's not that hard to read and get onto the end of that type of kick from Mackenzie, but they just couldn't make the ground.
Yeah, Richmond have dominated the mid-zone in this game. It's been played inside the arcs, but Richmond have played it beautifully. They've won all the contested ball and kept in a real contested situation. There's no run, as you said, from Gold Coast at the moment.
Falls for Hall. The day.
That extra handball's hurting.
The extra handball is hurting because there's not a lot of room and it's slippery. And they may give up a free kick here, and they do.
Well, there's 5 handballs where you're kicking with a really strong wind, and I know you don't want to play us away because Chaplin's down there, but at least get the ball in a dangerous area where Richmond have to defend really hard deep. So Richmond are defending in this area of the ground.
And not goal face.
Yeah, in the first quarter, they had to do everything, Richmond, to defend with their life because it was deep in Gold Coast quarter.
That's a good take from Harbrow. Can he spark something for the
They've
Suns?
got Bennell deep.
Boston heads one-on-one Bennell.
That's beautiful.
That's class.
Well, that's better play. You just kick the ball along to a contest.
That's class.
Yeah.
That's freakish.
Yeah, it's a beautiful grab, wasn't
That
it?
is sensational. When the
Wet ball.
when the wind is behind you like that, the pace of the ball coming in, it's the difference between facing a medium pacer and somebody who's express. It comes in really quick. The ball's heavier because it's wet. It's greasy, and he's taking the pace
This is a
off
big
it.
kick.
Yeah, he needs to kick this, and it's not going to come back from there.
Not with water in the air.
Well, these Gold Coast have got it in position now. Have a look at the mark. The flat hands early, don't you? Call it beauty of the one hand. Look at that. The flat hand to bring it down in front. Outstanding.
He thought his way through it, and if you would look at it in slow motion, he makes a micro adjustment with the angle of his hand as it comes to him.
Holds up in the breeze. Vickery
Oh,
came
Vickery
in.
did the same, the one hand.
Yeah, and he
He's
just
played
didn't
on.
need to give it off to Ellis just that quickly. Shaw. Revolt over the top of him. Got a boot to it there, Jack. Jackson, Ablett. Knocked forward by Vickery. Still in play, not for long.
Well, Vickery went to school on Bennell's mark, Tyrone. I know he ended up taking him with 2 hands. Have a look at the initial one-handed tap to bring it down. That was well played in these conditions.
Rain has stopped for the moment. Just that shower that came through.
Yeah, that's frustrating, Damien Hardwick. I mean, you've got to know that the man's theirs and he's going to do something to your body balance to upset that quick
Good
handball.
attack from Deledio there.
3 minutes remaining in this quarter, and it's one where it's basically a goal apiece, and the margin was 6 points at half-time, and it still is. McKenna heading down early. He might need to, because here comes Dustin Martin. Uses his strength to get it to Revolt. Went for the 1-2, went past. Still a chance here, Tigers. Foley back looking for Edwards. Handball to the pocket. Martin off the outside of the boot. It's shy of the post.
That was the option. It's the only option he had. He looked inboard. There was no one there. Only Suns players.
Well, what it does now, it gives the Suns a chance to use the ball without any real pressure from
Yeah, I think Tom Murphy was looking for Mackenzie.
I think he was, yeah.
no one down the middle of the ground.
Nichols the target, the percentage play. Past Stanley it goes. Day. Underneath all that is Edwards. Shane Edwards.
If they can just scrap it out like this, the Tigers till the end of this quarter, they go a long way to winning this game.
Hold the meter. Play on.
Nichols.
Play on.
Tap forward by Martin. Tap to the advantage of White, who kicks it cleverly to the top of the square. Very good kick. Jake King is there. Took him on.
He burrowed in under it, Jake, looking for the head-high tackle. He'll argue it here, Jake. You watch, he keeps the knees bent, backs into him, throws the head back.
Yeah.
He was lucky to retain the ball up there.
He's at it
There
again.
was no intent.
And he got that out to Arnott. No, it was the wrong side of the post. That was a big kick in the context of 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. That was a huge kick.
Got to get the ball to Mackenzie to kick it in, not anyone else.
Well, there he is. Look what happens.
He needed a big stretch from Nichols because it carried.
Now, Mackenzie's a very good player, but the difference between being a very good player and elite is he should run past from here. He should be getting the ball sometime within the next few seconds at half-back after he delivers. He's the one who can win it from his kicking ability.
Shane Edwards from outside 50 realises a bit too far out. It's touched off the boot. Broughton hit heavily. Martin again. Looks the most likely inside the forward 50. O'Meara throws it on the boot. Day has to mark. The spoil comes. It's at ground level. Danny Stanley. He goes back with the handball. Off a standing start, Russell puts it out in front of May. And there was a good spoil from Newman, and they'll happily see it over the boundary line.
It'll be interesting, Sean Grigg, the sub for the Tigers, when they... It'll be three-quarter time, you would think. Inject him into the game.
Yeah, he's up, warming up. Yeah, it's only a minute and a quarter to go.
Pretty handy player to come on fresh.
Yeah.
Quick
Gets a lot of yardage with the ball.
Prestia. Again, they're looking for this little short handball.
Well, this is a show here.
Shaw pulled the kick, and again, inside 50, 60 metres out on a night like tonight, have a shot.
It's amazing how they've looked for the extra handball and the short possession in these conditions. I just wonder, is it the Troy Chaplin factor of being...
Shaw can get home from there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I'm agreeing with you, Matty, but just the fact that Chaplin's down there, or a Newman, that it creates a bit of uncertainty in their decision-making going forward.
Fair enough. It's not a good kick from Pettit, so perhaps the Suns with one last chance here before three-quarter time. It's been a great defensive performance by the Tigers. Here's Shaw. Now he's 55 metres out.
Well, you're right with Shaw. He kicked one
With
in
a
the first
10-metre
quarter
break.
beautifully.
Yeah.
With a 7-iron.
Yeah.
He'd love to have that kick again.
Could have hit that with 3 on.
Yep.
If Ricky Pettit can play on May, that's a good effort.
Well, I don't think Damien Hardwick...
Prestia.
Oh, that would have been some kind of goal.
Yeah, but I don't think Damien Hardwick has to mention last year at all in the speech. I think there's a mental demon there for all the Richmond Footy Club. No more the players themselves.
Well, the difference is they're coming home with the breeze this time, and they've got the lead at three-quarter time, so the shoe is on the other foot, so to speak, and it has been all night. Ablett through traffic. Boston got it forward and got it onto the chest of Hall, and just before three-quarter time, the high jumper with a big kick.
That's the pocket, is it, Matty?
From the Carmichael pocket, from almost the identical spot.
We'll call it again. It's only three-quarter time this time.
It's not as exciting.
It can be, though. It's an important kick in the context
a huge kick
of this match.
Big Josh Hall.
It's to the centre of the goal. It's just fractionally to the other side, but with this much water in the air, it's not going to bend that much. So it's a straight kick.
Margins 8. He needs to bring it back. He needs to hook it back. It stays out there, and it was always going to. So at three-quarter time, it was a kick that would have been important for the Suns. There's been a very good defensive effort by the Tigers to keep the margin back to 7 after 36. Let's get to Lee Colbert.
Thanks, Matty. Yeah, both subs have been executed. Rory Thompson, we know, injured. Looks like it might be ribs, kidneys, perhaps. So Boston's into the game. Grigg also gets his chance for the Tigers with Aaron Edwards coming out of the game. Interestingly, the wind has dropped, boys, and it's certainly going to favour still the Tigers, but it's dropped by a couple of goals. And don't be surprised if Dustin Martin or Cochin go out of the goal square in this last term. That's where they've struggled to kick goals, and potentially one of those little guys up forward might be the difference.
Well, I would copy. There's Dustin Martin on Tom Murphy deep, and we saw Grigg on the wing. Great substitute to have a good player like Grigg coming onto the ground fresh.
Tigers by 7. And this time in the North Queensland clash, they come home with the breeze.
Another clearance to Jackson. He's been sensational in there tonight.
Yeah, well, he's playing on Gary Ablett too. We know Deledio started on him, but for the majority of the game, Daniel Jackson's been outstanding on Gary Ablett.
Yep. Pressure around the boundary line for the Suns.
Yeah, there's Ablett going down. A little bit of friendly fire with Campbell Brown.
With Brown.
Oh, it's the last person you want to run into, though, Campbell Brown.
Half an elbow.
Daniel Jackson's the #1 player on the ground for first possessions from stoppages with 8 and clearances 7 from the stoppages. He's done incredibly well in there.
And you add a couple of goals as well.
Yeah.
Arnott is strong. He just stood while the collision came. Newman's a good kick. Long ball up, but it's just off towards Murphy, who played the percentage and spoils over the boundary line.
And he's playing on Gary Ablett. The last 2 matches against the Tigers up here, he's averaged 30 disposals, 6 clearances and 6 tackles, 5 Brownlow votes. So that's a great performance. Great win there for the Tigers, and more importantly, Jackson on Ablett.
Both players, Jackson and Ablett, 20 possessions each to this point in time, but Jackson with 2 goals.
And here's Ablett. The handball came from Bennell. Ablett runs his full measure.
Yeah, good kick.
Pulls the kick.
Campbell Brown switch.
Kick from Hall's just behind him instead of being low out in front of him. But Bennell's a hard runner, and he'll take on Marich if it sits for him. Poor kick from Brown. Now Bennell forced it, hit it into the pocket. Out comes Boston.
Yes,
Through he
good
goes.
kick.
Well done.
Oh, Bennell, he didn't feel Pettit coming, and he's gone.
Yeah, super tackle.
Well, Pettit's playing like a bloke who's been given a second chance at,
No question.
at a second club.
It's a
You
great
just
talent.
wonder whether Boston, after you give the handball, then a youngster said, "You're hot." But
Yeah.
it was a good handball. Great tackle from Pettit.
He's been good, hasn't he, down there?
Yeah. It's a good pick-up, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
the right age, Pettit.
19 disposals.
He's the right size and shape to be a pinch hitter for them. They lacked a few numbers in that age group between 23 and 27. So you give them a bit of stability in
got
experience.
The most tackles for Richmond.
Yeah, one thing about him too, Matty, he's had the 9 disposals, 18 have been kicks. He loves kicking the ball, and he kicks it extremely well.
Cotchin, speaking of kicking it well, if he can get up and get free, he's trying to. Slipped it over to Daniel Jackson. So really, they didn't give up on the contest, and they managed to get it 60 metres forward, and they get a free kick to Martin. That is classic, just players that won't give up when it's tight.
Yeah,
Now, this is the zone.
Yeah, this was 2-on-1 though. Mackenzie and Murphy, yet they give the free kick away. That was just silly. He can kick this.
Certainly can.
Oh, look at this.
It's coming back. It's coming back, but it's going to land in a square day.
You have to ask the question why Vickery didn't get to the goalpost. He was sort of in a dead area about 30 out. Just need to play the percentages.
May crashed the pack.
Yeah.
Well picked up by Rance. Searching handball forward over the top. White can't get past May. Bang.
Great intent from May. Firstly, he took out Jack Rewalt, and then the tackle on White. Have a look at the context here from...
Bang.
Oh, gee.
That's got to hurt.
That's a free kick.
And then he's up and lays the tackle. Big switch. Risky.
Well, they've got to take risks. Now they do. Oh, that's going to come
too
back
high.
at you.
Yeah. Russell. Brennan. Delidio. Off a step, Chaplin. Inside 50.
Block! Don't say yours. Block against you, Jake. I'll go around on it.
Block against Jake King. No one knew where it was going.
You just heard the what?
She could have followed up with a bit of McEnroe. It cannot be serious. And here's Harbrow.
It's only a slender lead. What are we talking? 7 points here. But you feel that Richmond are quite comfortable. Now, I remember last year there was a feeling, and they were further ahead, they were quite comfortable. You don't want to leave them in the match.
That's true.
I know it's into the breeze.
Get it to 3 or 4 goals.
Oh, 50 metres.
Keep going, mate.
He needs to run the ball quickly here, because Ablett's deep in the square.
You want to kill them emotionally. You want to kill them off, Spud. You don't leave them in the caper saying, we got a chance.
So here we go. Hall, now you can see darting eyes. He's not sure about the distance.
The
But he'll
breeze
still
has
take his
dropped.
best. He'll still take his best kick.
Call it for us, Colby. You're at ground level. Has he got the journey?
Oh, I'd say he'll still kick the journey, but whether the accuracy's there, it has definitely dropped, so he should get there.
All right. Colby says he's going to get there from just inside 50. He's going to get there. Oh, he hit the post.
Well, that would have hit the end of the goal square in the first half.
No question.
You, mate. Yep.
Quick play by the Tigers. Marching back to a goal.
Handy point.
Well, they had the point there and the point from Josh Hall right at three-quarter time. They could be in front.
Oh, Jarrett, just there. Thank you.
They had 2 set shots. Mind you, Martin was close, but if they're going to pinch this game, they have to take those opportunities.
And they've just got to continue to take the game on.
Well, they might be like at basketball game. They might be running down the clock. They don't want to get hit the front too early.
Martin cutting through. Delidio over to Marriage.
You don't want to mark time, though, against these blokes and just... Oh, no.
Good kick.
To serve the kill.
Oh, Jack just went down. He thought he had it. Tape up. But that's a poor kick from him.
Good charge out at this one.
Left it behind. Martin's important. Martin could be the match winner here. He's found Revolt on the second attempt.
Yeah, may let the speed get in the way of, and aggression get in the way of getting the ball.
Well, Jack, if you're going to take that long, you've got to hit it lace out. Next one.
He found his target, which is the sub in Sean Grigg.
Hutchins lurking behind, coming in from the close side to camera to the goal square. If he gets a skid ball over the top, no, he's going for the pocket.
Well, he went for a low percentage ball. Edwards, Jackson, that's still in play.
Good disciplined kick.
Oh, gee, that was close.
Jacko almost for a third.
Almost went for a goal there. Hole's a bit sore.
Well, what's he? Does he defend now or just really try and attack?
No, you've got to attack still, don't you? You've got to take it on.
He tried to go long down the middle, but I don't think there's many there.
He's put it out in front of Brennan, who stopped, and in fact the kick went too far. Big punch from Morris. Inside 50 it goes. Ellis's handball back. Now they share it. One way, then the other. Touched off the boot, the kick from Cochin. Shane Edwards, stolen by Harbrow. Doesn't get it clear, though. Richmond to reload. This time Vickery. Just as he got his kick, there was some pressure, and it came from Campbell Brown.
Yeah, he's a little bit injured there, Seb Tape. Sure whether he just pulled up after he marked the ball.
That's Josh Hall.
So even that attempt
Josh Hall, sorry.
Spoil from Campbell Brown on Tyrone Vickery, it was a full throttle attack on the body.
Does Brennan actually want that ball?
No.
I looked at that from full back.
He's given up on that.
He's given up on that, and that's...
Whoops.
Yeah, and this is what happens. We know Jack Rewalt wanted that, but I know that the Gold Coast coaching staff will look at that kick out at a critical time in play, and you've got Brennan, a leader of the club, didn't want the ball.
Here's the kick from Josh Hall. It's off a step, so it asks for trouble.
Just hung off him enough. I know, speaking to Cyril Rioli, in those situations, he deliberately stays 12 to 15 metres away from that type of target play, taunting the kicker to kick it at him, knowing he can get there in time.
Revolt for his first of the game, and he's left it out right.
The ball drop. Yeah, it was. Which
so
is
that
incredible.
Three behind?
Yeah, it is. And it's incredible when you think of Jack Rewalt. He's one of the best exponents of the set shot in the game.
Well, as you said, he's a two-time Coleman medalist. And tonight won't help his cause to make it three, and they might be doing it again here, the Suns.
Oh, that worked out very well. It made the Tiger overcommit. Who was it, Arnott? There's a hold on the hand. Well, let it go.
Yeah, it's silly play.
Advantage paid. Here come Richmond. Revolt's kick, a bit too much on it. And the mark for Russell.
Yeah, Tom Murphy on report, the umpire said.
Did you get him in the head? I thought he rolled over his back.
I
went out to look at it at some stage.
Murphy comes from the ground. And again, Suns have got real problems just finding a target on the way out. Forget about the scoreboard.
It's got to break here. Richmond have to kick a goal, or the Suns have got to get 2 possessions away from goal and get on a bit of a run forward.
It's not a matter of distance, it's accuracy with this guy. He's the longest kick at the Richmond Footy Club.
He came in when you were coaching the Tigers. His first game under you.
Yeah, magnificent exponent of the kick.
So from just outside 50, he's got a hook on it, and it stays hooked.
You taught him?
I taught him the accuracy.
Here's Murphy.
He went to bump and he went lower. No, that's
not a lot in that. It's a free kick. It's not a reportable offence.
He'll be fine.
Why did he stay down?
Here's Morris with a clever kick to bring it back to Flostone through the middle. It's a good switch, this. Oh, he could have gone further. He sees him now. Rance. Newman back in board. Cochin. And they're just playing with him here, the Tigers.
They just cannot get their hands on the footy here, Gold Coast Saints.
Vickery was on his own for a while. Had to do better than that, Vickery.
Brown went the other way. Stanley wanted the 1-2, but he went back to Harbrow, who gives it back to him, and they muck around with it again. They've got no one to kick to, that's why. Oh,
he had to go at the ball.
He just forgot the ball, Russell. He just did not look at the ball.
Well, his intent was terrific.
Stop. Game's coming, guys.
Whoops. Jacob with the free kick there.
Track time.
He's a talent hall, but when he doesn't have the footy, his tackling's poor, his intent to chase is pretty poor. He's got to be better when he doesn't have the football.
King, he's going to set it up and go long, very long. Up goes Revolt. It might go to the back. It's touched.
Wow.
Daniel, 5 minutes, please.
Think about that kick from Jake King then. It's very hard for Rewalt and the ruckman to get a run and jump at the ball. Because it was so long, they were planted. And as a defender, it's easy to defend. He needed to put that about 15 metres from goal, that kick.
Day, not the ideal man to have kicking out, but he does get a fair bit on it.
Unrealistic marking attempt, time Vickery.
Yeah, against Jared Brennan.
46 possessions to 33 in this last quarter in favour of the Tigers. Inside 50s, 2-10 in favour of the Tigers also. But they've only posted 4 behinds. They haven't put the Suns away.
That's a clever mark.
Very good mark from Revolt.
That is a clever mark. He protected the drop zone magnificently well on tape. We know that Thompson's off the ground.
Bennell's got to turn around there. I mean, he's going to play on.
Here he goes. On the left.
Oh,
It's pretty good. It's great. And Jack knows it. He's on the board.
Well, Dermot, you called it.
Too far away, Harley Bennell.
You're always in the game, in an AFL game, and you've called it beautifully, because that little kick here, I know it comes back to, as Brendan, the unrealistic marking attempt. Yeah, that's a free kick. But the kick here, the mark from Revolt was absolutely outstanding. He just protected the drop zone magnificently well. But talk us through this, Derm.
When you watch Bennell where he is, now he should be, where he is now, that's where he should start from.
There's Jack Revolt, goals by round. And it was amazing, you called it, Dermot, because Bennell, let the umpire say to you, you're too close to the man on the mark.
Yeah.
He was...
Always have
20 metres away.
Have the umpire pulling you back and you react to his instruction. You don't be honest about it and say this is about right. You get in closer and force him to call you back off the mark.
Been a while since Revolt's kicked 4, looking at that graph.
Long time.
Mucking around with it again, the Suns.
Yeah, but I think by the same token, Matty, I think Richmond will identify that it's okay for Jack to win the Coleman. Let's hope he wins it again this year, but they want to play finals, so you've got to share the workload. And they've been really impressed with his work rate and his other type of work around the ground, instead of just kicking the majors. And I'm sure he's the first one to say he wants to kick more, but...
It's a fascinating race for the Coleman this year.
Oh, it is.
Fascinating.
Jared Ruffhead kicked 5 again today. They're very static now at Gold Coast. Look, this is a square off, and it's from a static kick to a one-on-one.
Broughton did well to actually win that.
They did well.
He can keep going here, Swallow.
And he missed his target, and big Ivan Maric in the way. Tigers by 16, and they know they've got control of it at the moment.
Yeah, well, Tom Nichols was looking for the long one over the top, and Big Ivan read it beautifully.
Nichols has been all right today, but the difference between Ivan Maric in this side and not is enormous.
It's big, isn't it?
The intent he gives them.
It's the aggression as well, Dermot.
Yeah.
He makes them stand taller.
We see it's when you've got a first ruck who loves body contact. Watch him on screen here. Bang, look for the body, goes in. He got beaten for it, but he's still at the footy. He'll be in there again in a second.
It's almost out here. Foley's underneath it all.
I'm looking at Ivan then. I'm not sure whether he was talking in Croatian or English then when he was talking to the umpire.
The whole time he was looking at the umpire. Touched off the boot. Richmond some numbers. Chaplin punched towards the line. Ablett can't get it. Morris working hard for Richmond.
That's interesting now. Now you watch the difference between Jackson playing on Ablett in the defensive end of the ground as opposed to Ablett on Jackson in the same area.
It'll be
in the
total
third quarter.
accountability.
Absolutely. Touch and feel the whole way.
Nichols got it to Brennan and almost Brennan-esque.
Well, Jackson's had to build his game from that.
Yep.
He's been the designated tagger, but the improvement in his game the last 18 months, his starting points haven't changed. His work when Richmond get the ball's really improved.
He's a good endurance athlete as well. When he first came in, he was a sub-size key position forward.
From memory, I think Carey Grammer, a great hurdler. Recruited him as a great athlete, hurdler at APS Athletics in Victoria.
Free kick, Daniel Jackson. Daniel Jackson.
Yeah, they're looking to block him away from Ablett.
And the man you're talking about, the hurdler, kicks it out wide.
There's just been a few free kicks the last 6 minutes. The inexperience of Gold Coast, they've just milked a lot of free kicks.
Yeah, he's not facing it, Brennan.
He's not even facing the ball. Look, he made a mistake trying to play team football there, Brennan. I'll wear that, but you've got to watch the ball when you try and block someone's opponent.
Quick kick by Grigg. Press to your front and square. Got it to Swallow. Murphy measures the pass to Shaw. They're going to have to find some run. Missed the target. Puts them under pressure. Swallow back to Shaw.
Going over.
Yep. Got a siren going off in the little room up here.
Well, we're not evacuating.
No, we're not going anywhere.
With this water in the air, it's not fire.
Grigg. Short. And again, the Tigers now just milking, not milking the clock, but aware of the fact that they've got the tempo the way they want it. And they've got a bit of room here for White.
Move it on. Play on.
From outside 50. Just shorts it to Revolt, who led 3 times. Really wanted to use him. McKenzie. There's Prestia running for him. No one to kick to. May actually did pretty well to spoil that.
Extremely well.
He didn't hit the arms, he hit the ball.
Needs to hold his feet here.
2 on 1. Oh, he held his feet for a while. Waited for the cavalry. And they arrive. Brown, the 2nd Battalion.
She's a powerful kid, mate, isn't he?
Brown, only eyes for the ball. Bennell. Foley knocked out of it by Swallow. Brown
Same again. Brown, Campbell, it's 100% effort. Now, somebody will go to Campbell.
Yeah.
That's a go.
The van goes past and gives him a shove in the chest, but he makes people think, where is he? I mean, that's... Yeah, did he get him in the head? Well, maybe he's panicked into that decision a bit, the umpire.
I think it was play on.
Yeah, got him in the shoulder.
It was a good hip and shoulder from both players.
Ripper.
Hold there. You, mate.
White.
Play on.
Too far for King. It's going to be clever here. It's still in. He took on Broughton. Hardbrow. Well, he hasn't got it. And the umpire in good position to spot that. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Vickery just knocking it down, but Suns there first in Stanley to Broughton, who's worked hard. O'Meara. Handballs over the top to Brennan. He waits. There's no one there, Jared. Cochin shows the ball. Chaplin back to his captain. And Cochin to White.
Yeah,
Wants to move it quickly.
Yeah, that was a Chaplin factor again while Brennan overused the ball.
Spoil from Tate was a good one, and just out of bounds before Edwards could make the Suns pay.
When Jared Brennan had the ball, he looked up and all he saw was Chaplin on his own. And look, it wasn't a great effort in the end. It was well read by Ricky Pettard.
Ricky Pettard, yeah.
Just that extra behind the ball creates the confusion for the Gold Coast younger players.
Well, May gave that up to Newman. His kick too far. Prestia didn't take it. Did okay to get it to Shaw. Paddled by Brown to Prestia. That's dry weather footy again. And Gary Ablett wins a kick way behind play.
Against Daniel Jackson on this occasion. Well picked up from the umpire. They've been at each other for the last couple of minutes, Ablett and Jackson.
Ablett sees Brown. He's just off the outside of the boot. Brown's got to use the runner. He doesn't. He dummies, but then a 1 metre kick.
He had to go long to the top of the square.
Yeah, you know what? Knowing Campbell's left foot, he didn't trust himself on that angle to try and get it onto his left. He came inboard. He was on the railway tracks and he couldn't go on that angle.
Harbrow forced to use his hands.
Got to get it in now, boys.
Stanley kicks it long.
Oh, well done, Campbell. Forced the contest.
Might have hurt his shoulder there, or maybe a finger.
He butted up then, Campbell Brown.
Yeah.
It was a terrific effort to have that
Out the
contest. Here we
back,
go.
it comes to him. Could give it to Swallow or kick the goal himself. He kicks the goal. 3 minutes 20 remaining. They're back within touch.
You've got to love him. You've got to love Campbell Brown because you could see the way he's attacked the ball. His kick wasn't great, but for any young player out there, he didn't worry about the mistake he made. He just looked at the next contest, and he halved this contest. He found a way to halve it. He found a way. He held his shoulder, got up. It was a terrific effort in the end, and Gold Coast get the ball out free.
It didn't hurt the shoulder once it got out to him.
Reward for effort. You're right, there was a few high fives there, but it was a great effort.
Well, a year ago, it only needed about 40 seconds for 2 goals. They got plenty of time.
And the conditions, Lee Colbert, it looks like it's got a little bit wetter, mate.
Yeah, the rain's back.
Yeah, it's back. And as I see Jared Brennan sneaking on forward, no opponent.
Well, Broughton just let that go. Slippery ball for Murphy to Russell. To Broughton. A lot of possession. Squeezed up on the line. And he's pushed in the back. He'll win a free kick.
No, good decision from the umpire. It was definitely in the back.
He goes into the middle and he asks
One
a bit
of
of
the
Stanley. The switches come unstuck. White. Arnott.
Dustin Martin.
Oh, it comes off the outside of the boot, though. Who's got the pace? Who's got the fresh legs? Here comes Martin. Back onto his left. And he hit a target. It's not bad. But Harbrow marks it and he goes.
Yeah, it's well played.
Spins away from trouble and kicks it to Bennell one-on-one. And he's got position.
They've got urgency all of a sudden. They've just got a touch of it.
And they've got one-on-ones forward. Just get it long.
Bennell kicks to a 1-on-2.
Yeah, but Campbell Brown's behind.
Big haul. And that's a win for the Suns. 2 minutes 20. 2 goals required.
Oh, they couldn't, could they?
For the miracle.
Oh, they couldn't.
Torrents are very even, 38.
Tigers fans at home watching in Melbourne.
Can't let the extra man out the back now. You've got to roll the dice. You lose by 4 or have a chance at winning it now.
And we'll reset for another boundary throw-in.
Koch and Martin have been terrific in this last quarter.
Ablett's forward. Now he's getting away from the forward 50 coming to the contest.
Double ruck combination here. Marich to engage. Vickery's out the back but doesn't come over the top.
Nichols did. Shot it to Prestia. Oh, the handball was on. He gave it straight to Vickery. He goes for a second effort. He was away there, Day. O'Meara, well done, Cochin. Ablett's got Cochin again.
Oh, hang on. Willie. Oh, they paid that on the other wing in the first half.
I think it was well disguised from Trent. I think we all know what his intentions were. Let's have a look.
He waited till he got 270 degrees on the turn and then went to the boundary. Clever.
Need to get third man up here, Gold Coast. Get the ball out of this congestion if they can, if they get another clearance.
Delidio. It's tight on the boundary. Revolt keeps it in by hand to White. They still have it, the Tigers. The kick into the pocket. And it's out on the full.
Well, he's got to switch the ball. He's got to take the game on now, Gold Coast. Just get the ball to the open side. Doesn't matter if you get beaten by 3.
With this lead last year, as opposed to last year's game, they were further behind.
Tommy Murphy had to read the play. We saw Harbrow mark the ball before and just play on instantly.
Yeah, you just got to take a risk. Dave's got the mark.
Got one-on-ones forward, just get it long.
Cochin's gone to Ablett now.
Goes in that direction. Chaplin the man in. Over the back. It'll go out of bounds again.
Well, this is where they need to get third man up. We know what Richmond's intention will be, to bring it in nice and tight.
A minute. Hardwick on his feet.
He'll be telling all Richmond players, you can see the Richmond runner there, getting players behind the ball.
Hey, Damien Hardwick's on his feet. He recognises, hey, I've been here before.
Ablett wins the ball. Sends it inside 50. Over the back it goes. Oh, is it too high?
It was.
He's got him too high. They couldn't. They just just couldn't. The time will be a factor here. We're down to 40 seconds. Boston will take the free kick. It's still a tough kick with this wind. He's back quickly.
I've had to stop the clock, didn't they?
33 seconds. He's going back a long way. For the miracle to remain alive, right here, he must kick this. It'll leave them time. Boston misses. Hardwick breathes. Tiger fans, relax.
For that moment, that fleeting moment, we believe.
Coach, look at Dimmer. He's quite relieved now.
He's going to
4
bite
points
that.
are on the way, Damien.
He's going to bite that bottom lip to bleed.
The relief of the win, I think, from Dimmer. A win's a win.
And it'll be their 10th win of the season. Importantly, it'll be their first win in Cairns against the Gold Coast Suns. All three have been thrillers, but the ledger now stands 2-1. The Tigers get the 4 points. Hooray!
Look at that. It's big sigh of relief. Hardwick throws his hands in the air.
And I'm telling you, if you're a lip reader, don't tell us what he just said.
Yeah, I don't think the words in the Bible do it. Anyway, it was a terrific win, and their leaders really stood up for mine. Dustin Martin, 31, Cochin. Daniel Jackson was absolutely outstanding on Gary Ablett. Deledio.
Let's have a look at it again. This is waiting for the siren. Oh, thank God.
He
shook his head. I don't want to do that again. Are we coming here again next year?
No.
I hope someone does. This is fantastic.
No, it is. It's fantastic. And look, it wasn't a great spectacle, but it was tough. That's what it was.
Yeah, the conditions didn't allow it to be, Danny, did it? We always knew it was going to be close.
You have a look at the contested ball. Richmond 150. So that's a big 150. They had the 362 disposals. 150 of those were contested, which means that the game was played on the ground, winning the hard ball.
Kept at him, the Suns, though. 71 tackles. So they got a +2 against Richmond in the tackle count.
The man who pulled out last year, who wasn't there, was Big Ivan Marriage. This time he's here. This time they win. He's with Colby.
Yes, got a happy man here, mate. That was incredible. You'd nearly give it up again, you blokes.
Yeah, I know. I knew there was a couple of minutes to go, and we didn't want to make sure, or we wanted to make sure that the same thing didn't happen as last season. But we did well, and we got the win, and that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah, I had a very pleased coach. I know you saw it on the big screen there. He was pretty elated at 4 points in the bank, which is great.
Yeah, that's it. We just need to get the win, and 4 points, like you said, really important. And I suppose this game was a lot about how far this group's grown, and we've got this perception with Gold Coast that they can beat us, so we had to change that today, and we're going in the right direction, change that perception. So
difficult conditions, and obviously for both teams, but yourself coming back, back in the side. Last year you pulled out late, and how close were you again today?
Oh no, I was right to go this week. Yeah, been training fully for about a week. Right. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss this one. Just like last year, it was a shocking flight home last year.
I was on that flight. It was pretty bad. Now that mullet, we know Tex he's had his lopped off. Yours going to stay?
Yeah, I think it'll stay for a while. I might see how much money I can raise to keep it. Yeah. Do the opposite of what Tex did. But I don't know. Look, I don't really think about it too much. Tex has done a fantastic job, I think, raising close to $70,000 for a great cause. So.
We'll go and enjoy, mate. A big win, and the plane flight home will be certainly more enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be sweet. Cheers,
Thanks,
mate.
big fella. Thanks, mate.
What a calmly spoken, mild-mannered gentleman that belies the absolute rabid mongrel he is out on the ground. And I mean that with all the care and love in the world. I think he is fantastic.
He's an absolute beauty. And they were brave, the Gold Coast Suns. They'll learn from this defeat.
They're outplayed, but almost they found themselves in a winning position. I mean, Boston kicks the goal. They've probably only got 17 or 18 seconds, but they're within a kick again.
Yeah. And then what happens if someone comes off the ground and steps on too soon?
15-minute penalty, bingo.
Doesn't matter how long you got left on the clock.
Look, they were good, but both sides kicked 6 goals. But let's face it, Richmond did kick 17 points to Gold Coast 8. So they missed a lot of opportunities as well, the Tigers.
Which is when we were saying you don't want to leave them in the game.
Well, Cochin was brilliant last year, 3 Brownlow votes, and he walked off despondent. It'll be different this time. Here he is with Lee.
Kochi, I'd say a little bit of relief and pretty happy you got the 4 points.
Yeah, it was. Tough conditions up here, really blustery. Gold Coast have obviously shown over the last couple of years that they really enjoy the conditions, and we knew that we had to come out and play our best footy, and I thought our third quarter was fantastic into the wind, which set us up. Credit to them, they keep fighting, and that's what a good young side does, and that's just going to be exciting for their development, but a really hard-fought win for the boys. Yeah, really happy.
You must be pleased. I mean, you're still obviously learning as a group, but you had to grind today for long periods. As you said, the conditions were tough.
Yeah, it certainly was. I think we learned a lot from last year with regards to numbers behind the footy and how we can set up and how we best use the footy going forward with the wind, and I think we did it pretty well. It was obviously we didn't kick too many goals, but we got the result, and that was what we came up here for.
Daniel Jackson, unsung hero at times, did a great job tonight. I thought at different, on Gary Ablett. I know you all sort of had to go through him at different stages.
Yeah, look, Jacko's had he's probably been the most consistent out of all our players for the season, and it's a credit to him. He's a hard worker on and off the track, and we know that he can do a job when we need him to, but he's also been getting a fair bit of the footy for himself. So, yeah, it's a credit to him, but I think it was a credit to the boys. We were right on, and we know how much of a star Gazza is.
I'm sure you're going to sing that song nice and loud tonight, mate. Good on you.
Thanks, Colby.
Good on you, buddy. Thanks, mate.
Another good performance from Trent Cotchin, and he, like everyone that barracks for Richmond or is happy to be involved with Richmond, will be very pleased with the performance.
That's a good point about Daniel Jackson. In a team that, for the first time for a long time, they're staring finals in the face. So they're a good team now. And Daniel Jackson, a lot of judges around Richmond say if they call the count off now, he'd be in front in their best and fairest. So in a good team, he's having a very, very good year.
The ghost of Cairns' past has been buried by the Tigers. The future is still bright. We'll take a break from Cazaly Stadium, 9-point margin.